All right, guys, welcome to Press X Podcast episode 39. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I appreciate you being patient as usual. Before I dive into it, I want to acknowledge these super chats. Josh Z, you're saying companies have a total disregard for gamers with poor grip strength and physical disabilities in controller design in recent generations. I had to drop $70 on a DualSense just to be sure I can hold it. Big hands are not the only gamers. So I'm sorry to hear about that, man. I do think that there is certainly truth to what you're saying. It's something that, we would like to see more companies take into consideration with the, normal controllers. But hopefully the DualSense is treating you well, man. Hopefully it's something that won't be too much of a problem for you. But, thank you so much for that super chat, buddy. It really means a lot to me. The support is incredible, the support you guys show me. We also have Sir Speaks a Lot, once again, on time, as usual. I have a feeling this super chat's going to have something to do with feet, so let's read it. I know we are all about those feet pics, but that face reveal will be much more godlier. My ancestors can finally be at peace when they see the God that they worshipped back in the 600s is real. Wow. All right. Yeah, what a great way to kick off the podcast, man. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. The PS5 it's here, man. I mean, not literally. It's not literally here in my home yet. I might get it early. I got to tell you guys, like, I saw yesterday that, it notified me that my PS5 has actually shipped out. Now, it shipped out from the same place where my accessories shipped out from. And I got my accessories 2 days before the estimated arrival date. So, I checked where this facility was. It's less than an hour away from me. It's like 50 minutes away. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, am I gonna get this console early? Now, I don't know. I think I got myself overly hyped. Some people were telling me, like, dude, don't set yourself up for disappointment. They put stickers on these packages to say, like, do not ship out until, the 11th or the 12th. Like, it has to ship out that day. And I hope that sounds like a reality check for me where I got a little bit too excited, maybe thinking I'm going to get this console early. But after somebody said that to me, I'm like, that does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because it does still say that it's supposed to arrive on the 12th. It's not like the arrival date moved up, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to hold out hope. I would absolutely, obviously love to get the PS5, even if it's just a day early. That'd be incredible. I was really confused. Like, if I were to receive it early, would I even be able to make content? People were telling me that it would be totally fine considering I'm not under any type of NDA. I don't think I would stream or anything like that. I don't know. Like, that's probably pushing it too much. I don't know if Sony would want people streaming early. But still, like, my hype levels are through the roof, even if I don't get it early. I mean, we're just a couple days away. We're 4 days away at this point. The hype is real, people. Saying JT, you're saying, bro, let's go. Happy to be taking the PS5 journey with you, fam. Boys, we got to hit that like button so more people can see this channel. Yeah, thank you so much for that, man. If you guys could hit that like button, it really does help out the streams. I ask for likes so much on the streams because it's a really great way for the algorithm to potentially pick up the podcast and spread it out there to more people. The last podcast picked up pretty good, actually. I don't know if you noticed. And it's just a great way to, get people, more people on board with the channel. So, yeah, the PS5 hype is real right now, guys. Once I saw that my console shipped out, oh boy, like, it's here, man. It's here. And speaking of the face reveal, yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking me about that. And, I do plan to, I think, go through with it. I'm a little bit nervous just because, I don't normally... I thought you died yesterday from hype. Yeah, from Demon Souls. I don't normally go on camera, obviously. John, you're asking if my back is all right. Yeah, it's definitely better than it was. I have this pain in my back that like goes down to my right leg for some reason, but I think that that's starting to go away as well. So yeah, I'm an old man here, but thank you for asking. I do appreciate that. But doing the face reveal, I'm hoping people will enjoy that. For those who are listening to this, I'm sure many more people are going to tune in. At least I'm assuming to the unboxing than they are, to this podcast, simply due to the fact that it's going to be like a face reveal thing. For those of you who are going to show up to that, you'll have to forgive the background. I have this little setup in my basement right now. It's just a nice place for me to go. It's like a little gaming setup, but my basement's going to be getting redone, so it's going to look a lot better when it's done. But I think it's good enough. I think it definitely will suffice. I ordered a custom. This may sound dumb, but I'm sitting on like this little sofa here. I ordered this like custom blanket that had the MBG logo on it, and I was really hoping it was going to be here in time so I could just like have it in the background as, a little branding touch there, but it's going to come here later than that. So a little nerdy, I know, but still I think it's pretty cool. But we do have a lot to discuss in the show today, and I'm going to try my best not to get too worked up or rant too much. I probably will, but it's just. Oh, I see you. NXT Doc 1851. You're saying that's funny. Longtime subscribers already know what MBG looks like. I remember his Metal Gear Solid 5 rant and why not to buy it. Specifically, the Ultimate Edition of Metal Gear Solid 5. This was when all the fallout with Konami happened. That's funny, man. That's funny that you actually remember that. There are some people who've been here since the start, man. And so thank you guys. And, yeah, that was one of my first like successful videos. I had a little setup going there. So yeah, some people already know, what MBG looks like. I guess that video is private, by the way. You can't find that video anymore. So am I the only one who saw MBG before? Yeah, I've been on camera a couple times. I think a lot of people don't know that earlier in the channel's life. But, I decided to private all those videos because I'm like, well, let's keep it a little secret, I guess, but it's not that big of a deal, honestly. It's really not. But yeah, we have a lot of really, I think, good topics to talk about today, guys. There's a lot of stuff going around. I'm sure you see it. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, regardless of whatever ranting I may do in this podcast, whatever I may seemingly fixate on during the length of this podcast, I got to tell you that there's a lot of things to be excited about right now. And I know that, it's easy to get toxic and whatnot, but I just want that to be known. I want to preface this podcast with that because you know what? Both of these next gen consoles are launching in a couple days. And I know, like, people don't just want to, sit here and hear me basically just say for 2 hours straight, everything's great. Everything's great. It's fine. Because, I mean, come on, like, that's just not. We got to get into the meat and potatoes of everything here. But I do want to preface it with that. Like, there's a lot of really exciting stuff here. Brandon, you're saying, hey, man, how's it going? Well, it's going good. Thank you for asking. You're saying yesterday on Maximilian Dude's stream, he was using Quick Resume and playing Monster Hunter World. The game crashed on his Series X when he completed a hunt. Thought it was curious. Yeah, that is a little weird. I mean, we've been hearing about the Series X crashing, but to be fair, I think both of these consoles have day one patches that are going to be going out, I assume, because I heard similar things, believe it or not, about Spider-Man Miles Morales, where the game, well, it's a little bit different from what you're saying, but Spider-Man Miles Morales was crashing for some streamers because they didn't have the day one patch yet. The game ran fine, but it would just crash occasionally. So I don't know. There's been some weird stuff surrounding the Series X. Like, that's the thing is, like, people are so fixated on, oh my God, PS5 backwards compatibility load times. There's not enough storage. And like, I'm not saying that these things aren't things we should completely ignore, but I mean, there's been some pretty funky stuff going on with the Series X over the past couple of months, it seems. Whether or not it's actually going to mean anything, I don't know. Sir Speaks a Lot, you're saying, fun fact, hairy arms are a sign of high testosterone, and considering one of the ways to increase testosterone is to be around women, I can safely assume, oh, Jesus, dude. I can safely assume MBG sleeps with women daily due to his arms. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, Sir Speaks a Lot, that I appreciate that. Like, I mean, hey, if that's how people want to see me, that's fine. I am married, so I'm definitely not doing that. But yes, I am a married man, and I'm glad that you know. I appreciate you have this like picture of me in your mind, but I assure you it's probably nothing that serious. So, yeah, wife reveal when? I don't know. I don't know, guys. There's plenty of time on the channel. This channel's going to be around for some time. So, you thought I was 18? No, I am not 18. But let me really quickly here. Let me bring up the gameplay for you guys. You're just going to see PUBG gameplay because, to be completely honest, that's all I've been playing. I realize I am streaming on a Wi-Fi connection right now, which I didn't mean to do. So I do apologize if the quality is reduced at all. But yeah, thank you guys for the super chats. You're doing a great job in derailing me. I gotta tell you. There was something. Yeah, PUBG. The reason why you're seeing PUBG gameplay. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys right now. It's all I've been playing recently. I don't even like. It's been feeling completely pointless to even attempt to go online or just boot up my PS4. And this is all I want to play at the moment because I'm ready, man. Like, I want to be playing Demon Souls right now. I want to be playing other games, obviously. So yeah. But getting back into it, I'm gonna dive into some topics here in a minute. I really do just married bound gamer, yeah. Yeah, big shocker, right? MBG's married. But I do just want to acknowledge the fact that, guys, look, like, if you're somebody who's excited for these consoles, whether you're the biggest Xbox fanboy in the world, the biggest PlayStation fanboy in the world, whether you like both, just enjoy this time because I don't know what the future is going to be like for console gaming. Like, I don't know if we're going to get a PS5 Pro. I don't know what the PlayStation 6 is going to look like. I don't know what the PlayStation brand is going to look like 6 to 8 years from now. Nobody does. Sony doesn't even know. So I'm just saying, like, enjoy this time. Don't, like, we're going to dive into the nitty gritty here. So I'm not going to make it sound like we're not going to talk about it because we are. But I just feel like it's important to preface this by telling everybody, look, regardless of what we choose to talk about, good or bad, it's a great time, honestly. Like, new generations of consoles, they don't come around all that often. So, Dustin, you're saying you have told her about us though, right, MBG? Yeah, she knows about you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. So you don't have to worry about that. But thank you for that super chat, Dustin. Sir Speaks a Lot once again. You're saying, I bet your wife supports your OnlyFans. Well, I mean, I guess technically, yeah, right? Like, I don't have an OnlyFans, but I get what you're saying there. So anyway, yeah, geez, it's all going to come out now, guys. I guess it's all going to come out now. PS5's coming out. I'm going to go on camera. You guys saw my arms. I don't know what's happening. Things are getting crazy. I'm not going to lie, though. I was considering, I don't know. To me, it's a little bit cringe, but I try not to take myself too seriously. I mean, I know that I try to come off. I like to think I try to come off as professional as I can, although a lot of times that goes out the window because I rant a lot. But when I rant, it makes me seem like I take myself extremely seriously. But I was considering, like, should I put out like a piece of merch, just like a shirt with a cartoon foot on it, and just that's it. That's all it is. Or like hashtag feet. I don't know. Or feet pics or whatever. I don't know. That would be kind of dumb in my opinion, but I just feel like some of you would find it pretty funny. So I don't know. Maybe one day. Who knows? Somebody's saying no. Somebody's saying yes. I don't know. I'm leaning towards no. I just feel like that's a little bit. I don't know. I feel like that just removes the professional aspect. But saying, dude, your rants are awesome. Thank you. Anyway, you guys are derailing me completely. I haven't even dived into the first topic yet. We're almost 20 minutes in. So I think I did miss a super chat here as well. Gooey, you're saying, dude, the amount of hate you get on being hyped for the PS5 is insane. By the way, Xbox plays Players are saying they have better games in 2021 than Sony. LMAO. Yeah, dude, I won't lie to you. Like, it's been tough recently because, it's extremely easy to get derailed. Like, just given the position I'm in, I know a lot of people say, just ignore it, dude. Don't even pay attention to it. And you're not wrong, but you have to understand that, like, given the position I'm in, it's it's extremely easy to be subjected to that crap and see it. And it's not that it's hard. You know what? It's not hard to ignore, but it is impossible to pretend it's not there. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be there. And so that's why I'm prefacing this by just telling people, like, look, you got to be like, I had a rough day today so far. Okay. And things are rough sometimes, and you gotta find the good in stuff. And so I just want to, let you guys know, like, I really do appreciate you being here. Like, those who really do support me on like that next level. I mean, I appreciate everybody who tunes into my channel, everybody who watches the content, but you guys are awesome because it's just like, it's really exciting, genuinely, to be able to like kind of share this with you guys. Because again, I don't know what the next generation of gaming, specifically, with console gaming, is going to look like. So it's just really nice to know you guys are here. You guys show your support. You come out in force, and it's just nice to be able to look forward to that. October's very own, you're saying, MBG, I discovered you during the pandemic, and I just want to show my appreciation. I can see the hours and dedication you put into your channel and social media, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Love you, bro. Thank you so much for that. I really do mean that. I do appreciate it. I know not everybody can do super chats. I know not everybody can become a member, and I obviously love all you guys who can do that stuff. I appreciate all of you equally. I definitely appreciate those of you who are willing to, go that extra mile, because it does mean a lot to me. And, I don't take it for granted. I just want everybody to know that. It's not like I look at it and it's like, oh, it's expected or it's assumed. Not at all. Not at all. Like, the fact that you guys are here and enjoy conversating with me and enjoy the rant so much, like, really means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Christopher, you're saying, hey, MBG, I just got an extremely easy platinum on the Donut County game, 3 hours max. Check it out. Yeah, maybe I will, man. Maybe I will. It's been a while since it's been a hot minute since I've gotten a platinum. I think my next platinum, honestly, is probably going to be on, it's probably going to be, I want to say Demon Souls. I don't know. Demon Souls, I think the trophy list leaked out for it, but I don't know. My next platinum is probably going to be on the PS5 though. At this point, I can confidently say it will be. New NES Braga, you're saying Sony really making some facepalm decisions on the PS5. Honestly, no 1440p support. I got a 1440p 144 hertz monitor a week ago. Yikes. No 4K 120 hertz option in the settings. No USB save files for PS5 games. No VRR. Yeah, like, look, man, I'm not here to pretend that, none of these things are real, because obviously they are. And I am, people keep asking me, like, dude, talk about the load times, talk about how the Series X is faster. And we're going to get into that. But, I do want to acknowledge what you're saying here. Like, yeah, I said it in a tweet recently. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find this tweet and read it back to you, because I think it perfectly sums up what I'm trying to convey here. Also, give me 1 second here so I can I know a lot of you have been asking me to slow down the chat, so I want to be able to do that, because I know it can be difficult to read it. So give me 1 sec to enable that. All right, there we go. I enabled slow mode on the chat, so hopefully that will make reading it easier. But I do just want to read you this tweet I put out, because, again, a lot of people, they kind of come at me like, dude, you're just ignoring the bad. And it's not that I'm ignoring the bad. Like, I've acknowledged it multiple times in my videos. It's just these things that are not that, that are not ideal, I guess you could say, for the PS5. For me personally, a lot of them are not like make or break. Like, if I did buy a 1440p monitor, and I did that under the assumption that, yeah, the PS5 is going to be 1440p it'll native, sure. I'd be pretty pissed off. Like, wow, I kind of can't believe that. But I'm not in that situation, and I feel for the people who are. But I have multiple 4K screens. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, yeah, that sucks. But I mean, is it going to stop me from enjoying the PS5? It's not. it's not. Sir Speaks a Lot, you're saying real talk. I saw some comments saying stuff like MBG is such a fanboy. He always trashes Xbox. And I'm just like, you haven't met 2019 MBG. Yeah. Yeah, dude, 2019 MBG was an interesting MBG because you could tell I was just so frustrated with Microsoft and the decisions they were making with Xbox. But I think, yeah, I do appreciate you saying that because I think I have improved. But let me find this tweet real quick. It's not too far back, but again, I think it perfectly encapsulates what I'm trying to say here. Give me one sec. Okay, here we go. So, this tweet didn't get the most likes, obviously, because, it's not necessarily how everybody looks at it. Jazar, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. You're saying, since you're having a rough morning, lunch on me, bro. Enjoy F the haters. This is the last Sunday without a PS5. Well, thank you so much for that, man. I do appreciate that. Yeah, maybe I will order something today to make the day even better. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, you're right. This is the last Sunday without a PS5. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. And Abraham, you're saying, is it possible for all CXTV owners that you can make a video on how you can set up for the PS5, like all the settings and resolutions, please? To be honest, I don't know if that's something I'm going to do simply because I don't think I'm the best person for that. Like, I'm not an expert in that area. Like, I have a pretty good understanding of like how to calibrate TVs and trying to get the ideal settings, but I'm not going to lie to you. I actually refer to RTings. I think ratings. I don't know. It's spelled like RTINGS.com. Like, they're the TV pros. Like, they will tell you how you need to calibrate your TV. So I would recommend checking them out. Again, RTINGS.com. I think that's what they're called. I always call them ratings. I don't know why, but let me read this tweet to you guys just to, kind of sum up everything. Because again, we're 4 days away from the PS5. And yeah, there's some bad things coming out about it because we're learning everything. And these are things that Sony obviously was saving up until this point to reveal because they don't want all the negative press. But I said the PS5 clearly isn't perfect. There are some minor flaws, but all in all, it seems to be the perfect console for me. It really seems to be a true next-gen leap with genuine attempts to innovate beyond just better visuals. 6 more days. At the time I tweeted this, 6 more days until next gen begins. And I really meant that, like, I'm not trying to say that it not doing 1440p is a good thing. Like, there's people who are going to try to spin it that way. Like, there's people who there are people who do not want me to say a single negative thing about the PS5. And, it's not that I want to say something negative about it, but it's just, yeah, we do have to acknowledge that the storage space inside the PS5 is not ideal. Like, would I love to have a straight like 800 to 900 gigabytes of available space over the 664 roughly that's there? Yeah, but am I gonna just suddenly be like, well, that's gonna stop me from enjoying my PS5? Like, no, it's an inconvenience, but it's a temporary one. You know what I mean? Am I gonna let the fact that maybe some PlayStation 4 games through backwards compatibility take longer to load on the PS5 than they do on the Xbox Series X? Like, I'm going to be real right now. Like, guys, I don't care at all. Like, I literally don't care at all. And I'm not sure why so many people do. I know why people do. It's because people want to find the negative. They want to rub it in people's faces like, haha, what about that unicorn SSD in the PS5? Like, I get it. Okay, I get it. But realistically speaking, we all know why this is the case. Okay? Microsoft has put a lot more effort into optimizing their backwards compatibility than Sony has. Sony's made it clear that when you're running these PlayStation 4 games on your PS5, you're running them natively. Like, your PS5 literally turns into a PS4 Pro, okay, or a PS4. These games were coded for HDD drives, and Microsoft put more effort in some areas in their refinement of backwards compatibility. I think that's kind of obvious. You know what I mean? So it's like, it kind of makes sense that you would see something like that. It blows my mind that people are so fixated on that, but they're not at all fixated on the fact that, are we just going to ignore the fact that Spider-Man Miles Morales takes literally a total of 7 to 8 seconds to load from from the home screen into gameplay. An open world game that utilizes ray tracing takes about 7 seconds to load on the PS5. But no, why would we focus on that when we can focus on the fact that, Final Fantasy 15, takes a minute to load? Like, yeah, because that's why I'm buying my PS5 to go play Final Fantasy 15, of course. New NES Braga, you're saying returning it once the new Asus 2.1 monitor comes out. Okay. Yeah, I would recommend seeing what you can do and try to upgrade to 4K at this point, man. To be honest, I don't think you have much of a choice. Lee Bull, you're saying shaking my head at Xbox, talking up backwards compatibility load times versus PS5 and fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The DualSense battery. Microsoft focuses on backwards compatibility because they have 0 games. Does Souls load fast on Xbox Series X? How about Miles Morales, Sackboy, Astro's Playroom? Keep popping double A's in the last gen. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there, man. Like, people lose the forest for the trees here. They really do. Like, I'm not saying that, people aren't going to use the PS5 to play PS4 games, because they will. But I mean, aren't we buying a new console to play new games? Shouldn't that be even John Linneman of Digital Foundry, when people were trying to throw this in his face, he was like, guys, like, come on. Like, we're going to compare the new games. That's what we should be focused on. Sir Speaks a Lot. Miles Morales spoilers out in the wild. Watch out. Yeah, you guys do want to watch out for that. Oh, you know what? That brings up something else I wanted to run by you guys. Now, I'm going to put out another poll. So I'm going to be real with you right now when I say that what you say here isn't necessarily going to affect my decision. I'm going to put out another poll, but excuse me, I do plan to stream when the PS5 is out. Like, I'm assuming that I'm going to get the PS5 on the 12th. I hope to have if everything goes according to plan, I hope to have an unboxing video out for you guys. We'll enjoy that. But I hope to be able to stream that night as well, because obviously I want you, like, honestly, guys, you're going to see me play the PS5 for the first time. I plan to stream like my first ever playthrough, as long as I can get the stream set up. It was revealed, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know how unfortunate this is. It was revealed that the PS5 streams cap at 1080p 60 FPS. Now, I'm extremely happy to know I'll get that 60 FPS, and that answers my question. Should I play in the fidelity modes? Should I play in the performance modes? I'm clearly going to play in the performance modes as long as I'm streaming them. So, and they look great too. Like, I was watching Digital Foundry's breakdown of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and my God, that performance mode is the real deal. Like, yeah, there's no ray tracing, but it's like, they said it's very close to native 4K, very close, and that 60 FPS is solid. Like, it's not it's not an unlocked frame rate. Like, no, it's a solid 60 FPS. And I loved it. And I was looking at the comparisons. I'm like, that fidelity mode looks awfully pretty, man. Like, it really does. But that 60 FPS mode, that's looking nice. That's looking really nice. And the fact that I'll be able to stream at 60 FPS, I think that that's what I'm going to go with. But, some people were pointing out that the Xbox Series X will offer 4K streaming and the PS5 will not. And that is disappointing to me. But at the same time, I just sat back and I thought, would I even be able to stream any games at 4K? Like, I was really thinking about it, and I don't think I have the internet bandwidth to be able to actually do that. It would be nice to have that option, though, and maybe Sony will eventually implement that. I'm just grateful to have the 60 FPS option. So, when I do stream games like Spider-Man and Demon's Souls, like, you guys are only going to see them in 1080p. I will be playing them in the performance mode, so you will get the 60 FPS. But, I'm sure most of you who watch it, you're going to know that the game looks a lot better than what you're seeing. You're seeing it capped at 1080p. But you're saying, dude, Twitch doesn't even support 4K. Really? Is that true? Yeah, it's not shocking to me. Like, realistically, I'm going to say 99% of people who stream games on the Xbox Series X are not going to be doing so in 4K. I mean, that's going to eat your bandwidth. These ISPs, they do have data caps, and at least most of them. And you will hit that data cap like instantaneously if you try to stream in 4K. So, You need you need really fast internet as well to stream that smoothly. And to be honest, I think most people care who are going to be watching a stream. I think they care more about seeing that 60 FPS over the the higher resolution. So yeah, but that's the other thing is I don't know which game exactly I'm going to stream first. I mean, um you're saying MBG, the PS5 seems to be lacking in almost all departments. I don't know, man. I don't see it that way at all. Like, I really don't. And I'm not saying that because, oh, I'm fanboy. Like, no. Like, when I think about the PS5, yeah, there are areas where it's like, okay, the hard drive is not as like there's not as much storage as we would like. Yeah, it doesn't do 1440p. It's not doing everything perfectly, but I don't know, man. I just don't see it that way. Like, all I can fixate on right now, and I'm just being honest, the only thing I can fixate on right now is I'm going to be getting the PS5 and I'm going to be playing some new games. And one of those games is going to be Demon Souls that I can only play on the PS5. It looks absolutely incredible. And I don't know. It may sound crazy to some people, which sounds crazy to me that this would even sound crazy, but I am totally fixated on the new games, man. Like, I really am. Like, now that the console's just days away, like, we've spent the entire year covering all the details on the PS5, and I'm going to continue to do that on the channel. Don't get me wrong. We're going to continue to do that. But at the same time, now that the console's about to drop, now that we're just days away, I'm I'm just thinking about the games, dude, and I'm thinking about how I want to share my experience with you guys in the best way I can. And it like look, for me, this is a fresh start. I'm not worried about PS4 games. I'm just not. Like, it's fantastic that the PS5 offers backwards compatibility. It's actually, it's obviously a must-have thing there. I'm, thrilled to see that games like Days Gone and God of War and Ghost of Tsushima are going to get that boost on the PS5, but I'm leaving last gen behind, man. Like, I'm moving on and I'm ready. And that's just how it's going to be for me. It feels like a fresh start and I'm excited for that. I'm happy to bring my PS4 games with me, but I'm going to be honest right now, guys. Like, I don't plan to play really any PS4 games on my PS5. I don't. Maybe at some point I will. It depends. But as of right now, that's just not what my mind's focused on. I'm going to be honest. If backwards compatibility was the thing that meant the most to me, I would be going with the Series X, but it's not. Christopher, once again, you're saying a good paid VPN server will eliminate ISP data caps on bandwidth. Thank me later. I didn't know that, actually. Appreciate you dropping that knowledge on me. I did not know that. Maybe I will look into that since I plan to stream a lot. But yeah, it's just MBG quitting PUBG. Yeah, that's the thing, man, is Call of Duty's coming out, and I'm not going to lie to you. When I heard that PUBG wasn't getting a proper PS5 update, like, they said it will run better, obviously, and I'm assuming it's going to run at like 1440p, 60 FPS, which is great, because if they just implemented a performance mode in PUBG finally after all this time, and it's fantastic, it drops it down to 1080p, but I got to tell you, this is one game that you want to play at 60 FPS. I'm assuming on the PS5 it'll bump up to 1440p at 60 FPS, but I don't know, man. Like, I love PUBG. I've spent years playing it. I can't say definitively that I'm quitting it, but I can tell you for sure it's certainly not going to be one of the first games I boot up on my PS5. It's really not. But, PUBG, I know, what's interesting, what people don't realize about PUBG, a lot of people don't know this, there's actually a single player story-driven PUBG game that's in development for the next-gen consoles. I kid you not, for the next-gen consoles, that's actually being led by Glenn Schofield, I think his name is, and he was one of the leads on Dead Space. A lot of people don't know that. So, I had to think, why is PUBG a game as a service that still has, I'm assuming, a lot of people playing on console? I mean, I'm still playing it. Why would they not do a proper next gen console upgrade? And a part of me, and this is just speculation, a part of me thought maybe it's because when they released this single player PUBG game, which I'm excited for, like, I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm interested, I think maybe they'll be releasing, PUBG 2.0 or PUBG 2 potentially. I don't know. That's just an assumption on my part, but I'm not going to be focused on PUBG honestly when this console drops, and that's why I think I've been playing it a lot recently, because I'm like, I think it's going to be time to move on. It's going to be difficult because I'm so used to playing it as just my go-to multiplayer title. But speaking of multiplayer titles, where is The Last of Us Factions? Where is that? I want to know more about that. But yeah, when it comes to which game I'm going to stream day one, guys, I really don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to play Demon's Souls first or Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, a lot of people have told me, like, dude, you really should play Spider-Man Miles Morales first because it's a much, much shorter game. Like, you'll finish that way faster than you're going to finish Demon's Souls. And I am aware of that. The thing that makes it difficult is that, like, it's going to feel hard to not insert Demon's Souls into my console first and play that. Because I know it's going to be a longer game. It's going to be a journey with that game. And that game is going to be an entire, that's going to be a journey. It really is. And when I think about Spider-Man Miles Morales, it is a much shorter game. And yes, you are going to see me camp in this bush here for quite some time. I don't know if you guys have noticed with my PUBG gameplay, that's my tactic. I camp in a bush because people don't check the bushes, and then you surprise attack. Sometimes it works against me, but that's my tactic. But when it comes to which game I'm going to stream, man, wait, Alex Trebek died? Really? No way. Is that breaking news right here on the stream? I mean, I haven't watched Jeopardy in quite some time. Let me check. I'm not seeing anything on Twitter. That's usually, oh, there it is. Well, that's sad and depressing. Not the news I wanted to hear. I mean, rest in peace, Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek. Obviously a national treasure here for with Jeopardy. So really sad news there. Wasn't expecting to get that news while streaming, but we got to keep it going here. But yeah, thoughts and prayers to his family and loved ones. Obviously, that's extremely sad to hear. But, talking about which, F in the chat, right? You're saying thoughts on the recent VRR new TV issues. To be honest, I don't have any thoughts on it because I haven't looked into it. VRR, that's variable refresh rate, correct? Stephen Kane, you're saying, hey, I watched your PS5 showcase live stream and I was able to find out about pre-orders going live and secured one. Thanks. I subscribed after that. Well, good, man. I'm glad that I was able to help some people out that day because people thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy. I was acting like a maniac. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they're going to drop pre-orders. I just have this feeling. And everyone's like, nah, man, don't worry about it. They're dropping them tomorrow. And lo and behold, like an hour after I went off stream or within that time frame, they dropped pre-orders randomly. And I was like, oh, man, like really glad I was paranoid that day. But yeah, guys, when it comes to streaming, I don't know. I'm going to have to do another poll. I really do think I'm going to have to do another poll because I know that there's a lot of people who are going to want to see me play. Like, I'm going to stream both, hopefully. I want to let you guys know as well, like, I'm just going to be honest with you right now. Like, a lot of people were asking me, are you going to stream the entire game? And, like, I want to, but at the same time, like, I'm only going to stream the entire game if it really seems like, there's a decent chunk of my audience who does want to see me do that, because it will take up a lot of time. It will. And it's a different experience streaming games rather than playing them alone, which I'm okay with. But I only really want to do it if it seems like there's if it gets the support that I'm hoping it will get. So I can't make any promises that I'm going to stream the entire games, the entire things through, or games through. But I will, at the very least, you will see my first experience with these games. So at the very least, I can promise you that. So yeah, that's another thing I see somebody bringing it up with streaming Spider-Man. What about spoilers? You know what I mean? Like, what about spoilers for Spider-Man? That's another thing, is like, I feel like that is maybe another reason why I don't want to play that game first. But it's hard it's hard to say, you know what I mean? Like most people might not care, some people might. So I'm going to put out another poll. I didn't expect to be talking about, which game I'm going to stream for so long here, but let's move on to some of the other topics that I know you guys want to hear me talk about. If you could do me a favor before I do, though, please hit that like button. We are at 450 likes. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes, possibly even 550. Really helps the stream out. So hit that like button. We're going to move on here. Let's talk about the load times and feed the trolls just a little bit here. Debo12, you're saying MBG, the surface of the PlayStation 5 hasn't been scratched. A developer explained that the Xbox Series X load times were faster because PS5 variable frequency for legacy games. Okay. That would explain it. Young, you're saying alternate every 2 days, play both launch day. Yeah, that could be something as well. I could alternate. That would be that's another option as well. But I feel like that's going to scramble my brain a little bit, honestly. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Some decisions are going to have to be made. But with the whole load, thank you guys for the super chats, by the way. I really do appreciate them. With the whole load time thing, okay, look, I came across GameSpot. That seems to be what most people are fixating on, because GameSpot put out like these load times and they compared them to the Series X, and they're like, oh, it takes longer. And it's not even like it's significantly longer. Like we're talking maybe 10 seconds longer, in some cases maybe 15 seconds longer. And people are running with this as if you're sitting there waiting like 2 extra minutes compared to the Series X and playing backwards compatibility games. And I'm just like, is this really what we're going to fixate on, when we're just days away from these consoles launching? But you know how people are. And I know it's ironic because we're sitting here talking about it, but I did tell you guys I was going to talk about it. So what's interesting is there seems to be, I don't really know what to make of this, because I saw, I think it was the individual known as Tidix over on Twitter. He actually put out a tweet. Let me see if I can find it, where he was kind of putting a bunch of images showing the load times for these games. And he said, I'm confused. The same game, but extremely different results. But what am I missing? And I'm looking here and it says from GameSpot, PS5 internal SSD, it takes 1 minute and 5 seconds to load Red Dead Redemption 2. But on the second screenshot, it says PS5 internal SSD, 34 seconds. And I thought at first, I think I misunderstood this. I thought at first that, people were saying that, oh, GameSpot, you can't go by what they put out because they're actually showing load times from actually starting up the PS5. Like you're starting the PS5, then you're clicking on the game, and then the game's loading in. And that's what they were timing. And I thought at first that's what people were saying. But what's really being said is the difference we're seeing here is between... So it takes Red Dead Redemption 2 34 seconds to load into game from the main menu in the game, not from a cold boot. From a cold boot, you're going to get a total of 1 minute and 5 seconds, but it takes 34 seconds from the main menu of the game. And so, to be honest, I don't really know what the point of this is. Like, you're still, if I'm reading this correctly, you're still going to be waiting the same time, but I'm gonna cut through it, guys. I'm just gonna be real with you right now, and I'm gonna cut through it. People who expect me to sit here and rant about this, I don't have it in me to do so, because I don't care, man. Like, I just don't care enough. If I cared enough, maybe I would. But if these Xbox trolls, these people who rather than enjoying the fact that their console's coming out in 2 days, their preferred console, that they want to make jokes and be like, haha, PS5's SSD sucks, haha, like games load faster on the Series X. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, if that's what you need to do at this moment in time to make yourself feel better, then you have at it, buddy. You have at it. Continue doing what you're doing, because you know what I'm going to be doing in just a couple days? I'm going to be playing my PS5. I'll tell you right now, like when I'm playing Demon Souls, man, when I'm playing Spider-Man, I'm not going to be sitting there being like, man, MBG, but if it was the other right way around, you would care. Look. If it was the other way around right now, I'm gonna be real with you, and you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to believe me, okay? I understand that there's nothing I can do to convince you other than just say what I'm gonna say. You don't have to believe me. But if it was the other way around, if the PS5 loaded backwards compatible games faster, do you really think I'd be sitting here and be like, "Ha, take that, Xbox"? No, because that's the expectation because of the PS5's SSD. So I do understand why some people are surprised to find out that the Series X loads in some backwards compatible games faster. I get that. That is a little bit surprising. Like, oh, I didn't expect that. It's by a couple seconds, maybe 10, 15 seconds max. Don't really see the big deal here, but I get it. It's because, oh, the PS5 is supposed to be the fastest console. What's going on? But again, I wouldn't be that way because that would be the expectation. But Sony is living up to the expectation. So Speaks a lot saying, yes, MBG, let the rant flow through you. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see if there's a rant in store. I can't promise anything. My throat's a little bit sore, so it's hard, man. I'm not trying to scream, but it's interesting that these individuals who are, focusing on this and throwing this around, they will not talk about the fact that games like Astro's Playroom and Spider-Man Miles Morales load it from a cold boot into gameplay within literally seconds, less than 10 seconds for each. They won't talk about that because, it makes the PS5 look good. It makes the PS5 look like it's actually living up to what it said it was going to do. And yeah, these PS4 games, they're running in a legacy mode, okay, when they're being played on the PS5. So I don't know what people's expectations are here. Like, developers can implement patches if they want, and they can if they want to, and that will fix it. But even look at Warframe. All right, guys, Warframe is a great example where that game takes 42 seconds to load on the PS4, but the game was recently updated and optimized for the PS5. It takes 10 seconds for that game to load now, probably less than that. Are they going to talk about that? No, they're not. And it's sad. And people are probably wondering, well, why are they so fixated on this? Well, obviously it's the internet. Trolls are going to be trolls. But come on, guys. Let's be real right now. And look, I need to reiterate this before I get into this. As I said earlier, if you're excited for Xbox, do not let anything I'm about to say diminish your excitement or hype, because that's not my intention. I want you to understand what I'm about to say is geared towards the trolls, the toxic fanboys, not the people who are just genuinely excited for Xbox, because Xbox does have some good stuff going for it. But what I'm about to say is geared towards them, okay? So don't let what I'm about to say dampen your excitement. Message retracted from Daniel. Well, I don't know what you said, but thank you for that super chat, buddy. I do appreciate that. But I'm going to be real with you right now, guys. I feel sorry for Xbox fans. I really do, because yeah, they have a good console to look forward to, but outside of that, outside of the 12T flops, outside of the backwards compatibility, what is there? I'm just being honest right now. What is there? Like, people think I'm a PlayStation fanboy, so therefore I'm going to prop up anything Sony does. That's not true. I implore anybody who thinks I'm really that much of a radical fanboy, go back and listen to what I had to say about The Last of Us Part 2. Okay? If there's any moment in time that should have proved that I'm not some type of corporate shill, okay, it should have been then. Because the safest thing for me would have been to just not say anything negative. Okay? And that's not what happened. I'll tell you guys, if PlayStation does something I don't like, I'm going to tell you. If Xbox does something I don't like, I'm going to tell you. If they do something I do like, I'm going to tell you. Just like with PlayStation. Now, I'll tell you right now, I'm liking a lot of what PlayStation's doing. I really am. I'm liking a lot of what PlayStation's doing with the PS5. And when I look at Xbox, man, it's comical to me. It's comical to me that there are people who are actually out here trying to clown the PS5 and say negative things about the PS5 and make it seem like the PS5 has all these bad things going for it, when Microsoft, last time I checked, was the one who showed off Halo Infinite, their big next gen launch title, or it was supposed to be a launch title. How quickly people forget about Craig, how quickly people forget that ray tracing wasn't even going to be on it wasn't even going to be part of Halo Infinite at launch. It had to come in a patch later on. How quickly people forget that, you know, oh, Bethesda, the Bethesda acquisition, that's so exciting, but you're going to be waiting. You're still going to be waiting, guys. Like, people think I'm such a fanboy. I'm not. Because I'll tell you right now, I said this before, but I will say it again. If Demon Souls was an Xbox exclusive, you're damn right I'd be playing that day one on the Xbox Series X. I would have had a Series X pre-ordered and I'd be playing it. But you know what? It's just like one of you guys who super chatted me earlier. I don't have your name right now, but you were saying like all these dudes talking all this trash, and it's like, what do you have? Like, you don't have any games, and you're gonna have to wait for the games. In fact, one of the only games that you had to look forward to, the Medium, was delayed, and that's fine. You're still gonna get it in January, but come on, like, just look. I'm gonna say this as politely as I can. Just shut up. Like, you don't have a leg to stand on right now. Maybe you will at some point, but you just don't. So stop trying to, bring down the PS5. Stop trying to convince people who are excited for the PS5 that it's some kind of lesser console. Yeah, we can acknowledge that it's not perfect. We can acknowledge that, yeah, it kind of sucks that we're not going to have as much storage as we would like. The 1440p thing sucks, VRR, all this stuff. But it's like, God damn, man. Like, how can you go, like, look at how can you watch the Digital Foundry review of Spider-Man Miles Morales and still actually walk away saying this stuff, man? Like, how can anybody do that? Like, it's just sad. And, you're saying you messed up your super chat. I'm sorry about that, buddy. Try to type it in the chat, because I know you gave me the super chat. If you could type it in here again, I'll try to not miss it so I can acknowledge it, because I feel bad. But it really is just sad, and it's pathetic. It's frankly pathetic. Like, it does get to me sometimes, simply because I do feel like, oh man, I have to like set the record straight. But it's like, actually, no, I don't. Because you know what the thing is? Like, I realize these people are the ones missing out, man. Like, if you're so in your own head with this console war stuff that all you want to do is spend your time on Twitter and in comment sections and, just basically try to kill people's hype for the PS5, you go right ahead. But I feel sorry for you, because you're missing out, man, not playing Demon Souls. You're missing out not playing Miles Morales. You're going to be missing out not playing games like Horizon Forbidden West, games like God of War Ragnarok, even games like probably Returnal that are going to be surprise hits, Bug Snacks. You're missing out. You really are. And I say this because it's like, I was there, man. Like, I know for a fact they're missing out, because I was there. And I used to convince myself that, all this stuff, all this talk about PlayStation, it's all hype. It's people just overhyping things. And then the day came where I was like, you know what? Let me go see what I'm missing out on, because Xbox clearly isn't doing anything right now. Let me go see what I'm missing out on. Thank you, Catman's Gameplay Vids. And I went and I checked it out, and I'm like, wow, okay. Turns out that the hype is real. Turns out that people were not exaggerating. And so, look, I cannot sit here and even attempt to make it seem like, guys, I don't know what we're gonna do. It turns out that the Sony's SSD, it was a joke. They didn't know what they were doing. They messed up. Guys. What are we gonna do? These PS4 games are not loading fast enough. It's over. PlayStation's done. Xbox One, what are we gonna do? I mean, for God's, like, that's how people, like, the way they talk online, like, that's what they expect. And I'm just like, what the F is going on in your head, dude? Like, it's not that serious. Go enjoy your Xbox, man. Go enjoy your faster loading, backwards compatible games. I mean, look, I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize Sony or convince them that they're perfection, because yeah, they should be criticized at the fact that, come on, Sony, you expect us to be satisfied with 664 gigabytes of storage space, knowing that Call of Duty is going to take up like, a fourth of that? Come on. But at the same time, is that like, am I going to wake up every day and be like, well, got to turn on my crappy PlayStation 5, not enough storage. Jeez, like, no, I'm like, come on, you know? And I mean, look, if you're somebody who had a 1440p screen, I totally understand why you'd be pissed off at Sony for not incorporating 1440p. But I mean, come on, like, you got to get over it. You got to get over it, man. You know, like, don't let that stop you from enjoying the games, is what I'm trying to say. Sir Speaks a Lot, you're saying, can confirm I was there when MBG believed in PS4. Yeah, a lot of you guys have been here for a long time now, and I do appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's exhausting. You know, it's exhausting to see the BS, man, and it's just like, look, talking about the DualSense, look, yeah, that's another thing too, is 1440 P support will most likely come in an update. I mean, I can't promise anything. I don't know. I'm assuming Sony's looking at the feedback though, and maybe they're like, oh, our bad, and maybe they will incorporate it, and I hope they do. And that'd be great if they do. I mean, is it going to destroy the PS5 if it doesn't? No, it's not. But come on. To be fair, and look, I'm not trying to come to Sony's defense too much here, but I just want to be honest. I say, like, did Sony ever market the PS5 as anything other than a 4K machine? I know I'm saying 1440p should be there, but I'm just saying, like, the way people are acting, they're like, Sony came out and was like, yeah, guys, you better go out and buy those 1440p panels because that's what PS5 is supporting. This is a 1440p next gen console. Like, they never, like, look, come on. Like, the way people are acting, they're making it sound like that's what Sony's marketing had told them this whole time. Like, is it something that should be their standard? It is, but like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, it is what it is. Chris B, does PS4 support 1440p? I don't think it does. Dude, you're white knighting right now. It's a basic feature. I look, I'm not, I straight up said multiple times, like, it's something that should be there. I'm just saying, people are like, you would think with the way people are behaving that it's kind of like something Sony promised when they didn't. That's all I'm saying. Is it something that is it understandable that it's expected? Yes, but come on. I don't know, man. People want to bitch and complain about 1440p. Maybe we should just look, maybe it's just me, but I'm thankful, man. Like, I'm thankful that Sony's able to have as great of a launch with the PS5 that they've been able to pull off here. And I think people are being a little bit unfair, specifically these toxic fanboys, man, where it's like, I'm not saying you need to like Demon's Souls. I'm not saying you need to be excited for Demon's Souls. I'm not saying you need to like Spider-Man or Sackboy or Godfall or any of these games. But my God, can you at least give Sony some credit for being able to pull this launch off the way they are, considering their competition has literally nothing and we're in the middle of a global pandemic? I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not all perfect, but damn, Sony did a pretty good job in my opinion. So, yeah, somebody's saying, man, you got to save your breath. And you are right. You are right, because the truth is, it doesn't matter what I say. Like, it doesn't matter how fair I try to be or how reasonable I try to be. These individuals, they're very combative, they're very aggressive, and it's just video games at the end of the day, guys. Like, I know we feed into it a little bit here and there, but they're gonna do what they do. It's irrelevant what I say, but I know you guys understand, and that's why I talk about it, because I know you guys understand, and I do appreciate that. But we do have other topics to go over here. Let me see. We have Dylan. You're saying, once Cyberpunk finally drops, do you think that the character customization options will include feet? Well, dude, for Cyberpunk, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we're talking about Cyberpunk. I mean, you can customize your junk in that game, so I'm pretty sure you'll probably be able to customize your feet. I don't know, man. The contextual gamer is saying 1440p resolution isn't going to magically raise frame rates in games unless the game provides a native 1440p mode. It'll just be downscaled dynamic 4K. Yeah, that is an interesting thing to think about, the contextual gamer. Okay, Kapapa, you're saying the only problem with PS5 is that there is not enough of them. Retailers in Finland expect availability in late spring 2021. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's the thing. I think this is why these Xbox dudes, they get so upset, man. They really do. I think these Xbox dudes, they get so upset because they know the hype is real for the PS5. And you know what? Actually, I got to be honest right now. I completely forgot to go over my main topic of discussion for today. And we do have other topics to go over, and we're going to go over them. But my main topic, that actually brings me back to it. PS5's colossal generation that lies ahead. This is something that I do want to discuss with you guys because I think it does kind of, feed in nicely to this idea that you wonder why all these people who are so attached to their, console, and I get it, like we're passionate, we like console gaming, I get it, but gotta say, toxicity does damage. John from Digital Foundry has said that the abuse he gets is hurting his mental health. Please be kind to others. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I appreciate you saying that because before I dive into this topic, that's something that people, that's how you can weed out the decent people from the truly shitty people, is that, people think that they can just say what they want. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie right now. I told you guys I had a rough morning so far, and I think this kind of feeds into it nicely because I do want to say this. The Wonderful Gaming Co. You're saying, hey man, it's been a while. Glad to see you're still making good content. Might be late to this, but thoughts on lack of full quick resume at launch. Briefly, just to answer your question, buddy, I appreciate the super chat. I'm not that upset about it. It would be nice to get something like that. I'm gonna be real right now. Quick resume is a feature. When I saw that on Xbox, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I'm never gonna use it, literally ever. That's my thought. I mean, it would be nice if Sony could, do something to compete with that, but it's not gonna bother me if they don't. I'm just being honest. But let me have this little talk with you guys real quick. You want to talk about toxicity. You want to talk about how it affects people's mental health, and I'm just gonna be candid right now. Like, people are fucked up, man. They are, and there's a lot of people who just don't care. There's a lot of people that will do damage. They will know full well that they're doing damage. They do not care. They have no sympathy. They have no empathy. They have no kindness. And these are just things that don't exist in some people. And, if they feel as though they can get to somebody any way they can, and unfortunately, we do live in a day and age where most people who do this, they allow it to exist and come through a keyboard. They allow it to come through while they're safely behind their computer screen, and they just don't care, man. And the brutal truth is there are people out there, and I hate to say this, but it really does seem like it these days. There seems to be more people out there who don't care than do care, and they will they will push somebody to a point of breaking if they know that that's within their hands, that they can do that. And I do feel sorry, man. I do feel sorry for people who have to deal with the over the top behavior, and that's not to say that we're all snowflakes and we our feelings get, like, no, we're all humans and we all do have feelings. But realistically speaking, I think you all know, at least most of you listening to this, there's a clear line between just poking some fun, having some fun, making some jokes, and just being a complete piece of shit. I mean, to put it bluntly, I think we all know that there's a clear line between that. And it's very easy to, to see that there's just people who don't care. But anyway, Demon05, you're saying on Spawncast podcast last night, they mentioned that quick resume feature on Xbox is taking up a ton of resources. They estimated about 100 plus gigs. Yeah, that's the thing too, is a lot of people don't think about it that way. Like, they don't realize that, these things do come at a cost. Like, quick resume isn't just something that's magically there. Yeah, it does take up resources, and that's a big deal. So that is interesting, though. It's interesting to think just how many resources it does take up. Star, you're saying that reminds me of Alo from HoloLive. I'm not familiar with that. Star Screamer saying, I know it's off topic, but I think Demon Souls doesn't have ray tracing because it's already a dark game, boosting the lighting wouldn't do much. Yeah, like, look, dude, you gotta leave it in the developer's hands. Do I care that Demon Souls doesn't have ray tracing? No. Do I care that a game like Halo Infinite may never have ray tracing? No. Let the developers do what they think is best. I mean, it's just, that's as honest as I can be about it, you know? Just let them do it. I mean, I can't, I look at a game like Demon Souls and I watch it in 4K and I'm like, my God, like, this is one of the best looking games I've ever seen, ray tracing or not. You know, and I'm gonna be playing it at that 60 FPS performance mode. And so I highly doubt there's going to be that much of a reduction in detail. Hatsuma, you're saying, you're giving me a link here. You're saying he suggests VRR support is likely going to be patched in. Missing features can be patched in before Xbox gets games, to be honest. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I saw this joke come up. It was, you guys know that, I'm sure a lot of you know about that, yeah, I see people asking, did I see that Alex Trebek has died? I have seen that. It's very unfortunate. I did acknowledge that earlier. So, yeah, definitely unfortunate. But I got to keep the podcast going here, man. Did you guys see that tweet from the joke account or the parody account from Kaz Hirai, CEO? It was really good, man. He posted this like a day ago. Starter saying she got harassed until she left for mental reasons. Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah, see that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's really sad. It's really sad that you can't even just be a personality on the internet and try to just be a decent person without people wanting to just destroy you for it, you know? So, and obviously everything that's going on right now, global pandemic, election time, I'm not getting into any of that, but it seems to exacerbate things that, it brings the best and the worst out of people, unfortunately. Well, maybe that's a good thing. It does bring the best out of people, but there's two sides to every coin. So, Jai, you're saying, do we know if the PS5 still supports share play? I don't think we have confirmation of that, honestly. I'm assuming it does. But I do apologize if I'm being too doom and gloom here on the show. It's just, sometimes things take a dark turn, that's the nature of life. So I do apologize if I'm, I know you guys appreciate me being real, and I just don't want to come off as like doom and gloom just a couple days before the PS5 is about to launch. But a lot of crap going on, man. There's a lot of crap going on, and I'm sure everybody has their own stuff going on. It's crazy. But look, I want to read this tweet from the mock account, ex-CEO Kaz Hirai, because, dude, he dunked on Xbox fans big time, and I got to give him credit. I wish I would have thought of this. He said, despite what some reports say, loading times on the Xbox Series X are not faster than PS5. Our biggest launch exclusive only takes 15 seconds to load. He said 15 seconds. He probably should have said like 7 or 8, because it's definitely not 15 seconds. But he then says, whereas Xbox's biggest launch exclusives won't load for months. Damn, that was a crazy burn, and I thought that was really funny, honestly. And it's true. That's the thing, man. It's true. It's like these dudes are out here like, ha, your backwards compatibility loading times. How pathetic. And it's like, dude, you do realize like you're gonna be waiting quite some time for your games. I say, okay, so the PS5 does have game share. Okay, a lot of people are saying that this was revealed already. All right, yeah, I haven't been paying attention to that, so I'm glad to know that. Smearguard, you're saying free Xbox Series X or $400 PlayStation because I main PlayStation, but what do you think? I guess you're saying if you had to choose between if I had to choose between a free Xbox Series X or pay $400 for PlayStation, dude. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm paying for the PlayStation, man. I'm playing those new games. I'm not worried about backwards compatibility. I'm just not. But damn, I really thought that was just a sick burn, honestly. And I don't say that very often, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy that there's just Last week, MVG said, I don't want to be toxic anymore. Dude, how am I being toxic though? Like, come on, you're gonna tell me that's not a true statement? I mean, yeah, he's going in hard a little bit, but come on. Like, it's such a true statement. Like, how can you fixate on these minute things for a platform that you claim to not even care about when you're sitting back, like, for the platform you do supposedly care about, you're gonna be waiting for quite some time, man. You're gonna be waiting months. That sucks. That sucks, man. I remember I put out a tweet like a while ago. I think that this was a while ago. And I said, and I think it was when we found out that Halo Infinite got delayed. Lee Bull, you're saying less than 1/3 viewers liked. Sort it out, guys. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button. That really helps. Hit that like button. We're at 600 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 700. I think we can do it. We can do it. Let's get to 700 likes. But, bro, you are not toxic. You are telling the truth. Remember, bro, truth and facts do not care about feelings. That's true. That's a true statement. They do not care about your feelings. That is a true statement that I think more people need to just accept. Doesn't mean you're not allowed to have your feelings hurt, but can't deny the facts, man. JT Harris is saying the PS5 overheating at Best Buy is stupid. A high-end audio/video gear needs air to breathe. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. What is going on with people like, the PS5 is overheating? Like, please just stop. You look like we all have a tendency at times to look like a clown at one point or another. We all embarrass ourselves in one way or another. It's human nature to do so, but my God, man, it seems that, like, based off of what I've seen, people who are doing heat tests, it seems that the PS5 actually runs cooler. I don't know if this is fact or not. Maybe you guys can fact check me on this, but I remember seeing somebody claiming that doing like heat tests, apparently the PS5 actually runs cooler than the Series X. The Series X, it's been talked about for quite some time that console runs hot, man. Like, the top of it gets really hot. So, look, does it matter? No, as long as it's okay. The PS5 runs hotter. It wouldn't surprise me. The PS5 is clocked up to 2.23 gigahertz, so I don't know. I don't know which one runs hotter. I'm just saying I don't think either of them are going to have some serious issues. But, I mean, people saying the Series X, Digital Foundry confirmed it runs cooler than the Xbox Series X. Okay, yeah, I haven't watched all of their videos yet. I think they released another one recently. It's hard to keep up with everything, man. It really is. But I'll take your word for it. I don't know. The PS5 runs 2 degrees hotter. I don't know, like between 120 and 140. Yeah, okay, but the point I don't think it matters. Look, the point I'm trying to get at is Sony made sure that cooling would be under control. What I did hear, and what is proven through video, is that, get this, and this is some awesome news for the PS5, honestly. This got me, I know this sounds funny that it got me excited, but boy, oh boy, after using the PS4 Pro for as long as I did, I got to tell you, there have been videos coming out that games such as Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is an open world demanding game that features real-time ray tracing, okay? It's a technically impressive game, and it's a big game. The PS5 is completely silent when running it. Completely silent. And let me tell you, that's music to my ears, man, because literally, like, silence is golden. Because after hearing my PS4 Pro all this time, my God, I'm really happy to hear that. Sergeant Salty Nuts, you're saying Xbox Series X is running pretty hot, and it's not even running next-gen games. Yeah, that's the thing, man, is like the fact that the PS5 apparently can remain completely silent when running a game, a full-blown open-world game like Spider-Man Miles Morales with real-time ray tracing, and it's just dead silent. Yeah, I think Sony has the cooling under control if that heat sink didn't tell you something in the breakdown in the liquid metal. But Smearguard, you're saying I can get a free Xbox Series X through connection, so I don't know. Well, I mean, hey, man, like, I'm not going to tell you don't get a free console if you can get a free console, but, I mean, if you're excited for some of PS5's exclusives, you're definitely not going to be able to play them on the Series X, that's all. JT Harris, you're saying any SOCOM news, my favorite game of all time. To be honest, I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. The latest I heard, and you got to take this with a grain of salt, but it comes, I believe, from Oh my gosh, what's his name? It comes from Moore's Law is Dead. We've talked about him multiple times on the channel. Um, he has been correct with a lot of his information. He was completely correct about God of War, and he apparently hinted at a new Killzone coming. And somebody in his comment section they said, "Wait, did he just hint at a new Killzone and like a new Killzone is coming?" And he responded and said, "Yes." Now, look, his sources have proven to be legit. So it seems like maybe it's not. I mean, I would love it to be SOCOM. I would love it to be Killzone though. But when it comes to SOCOM specifically, I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything specifically about SOCOM. So, but that Killzone thing is the latest I've heard. Now, here's the thing though, he didn't say which studio is making it. You're going to assume it's going to be Guerrilla Games and that's what their second team is working on. So, that's my assumption anyway, guys. But listen, I want to get to the main topic of focus here. I keep getting derailed. Let's talk about how colossal the PS5 generation is really going to be. I know this podcast took maybe a little bit of a dark turn, but I want to turn it around here and get back to what I really wanted to focus on, which is people, I think, are underestimating how well the PS5 is going to do. Yes, I keep using the word colossal because let's be real right now, guys. Do you see the demand for this console? Sony is saying this thing is going to get off to a better sales start than the PS4. And the last time I checked, the PS4 is the second best selling home console in history. We know the PS2 is the console to beat, but look at the amount of game. I said this time and time again, but guys, I think that Sony's going to have games on offer, at big games at such a consistent rate that I think it's going to drive these sales to compete, potentially even outpace the PS2. Now, will it have the legs? That I don't know. But guys, it's going to be a colossal generation. And to be honest, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it because I feel like it just kind of says it for itself. I think the PS5 generation has the potential to be the most successful console generation potentially that Sony has ever had. I really do. I mean, the hype for this console is it's in a league of its own. It really is. It's in a league of its own. You look at the demand for it. You look at how people are angry. They're angry that they can't get their PS5s. They're frustrated. Somebody mentioned earlier that in some regions of the world, you're not going to be able to get your PS5 until sometime in April or May, which is crazy. Sony, they know what they're doing with the PS5. The most important thing about Sony going into next generation, I think that I know a lot of you guys understand this, okay? But there are some people who I think aren't paying close enough attention. The thing about Sony going into next generation is that they have proven that they know what people want. They know what gamers want, and they know how important the games really are to to just the entire thing, just the brand, man. That's the thing is they prove I think Sony has always known this, but I think Sony learned something with the PS4 generation. They really learned just how important your studios are, how big they can be, how successful they can be. They can reach levels of success that I don't think Sony ever thought was possible. And they learned that this generation. And what people I think need to focus on is that Sony is, I kid you not, they are tripling down on that this next generation. And so you look at the PS4 generation, I think we can all agree that the PS4 was a little bit weak to start, right? It was a little bit weak to start. It took some time to really build that momentum. Sony even said it themselves. What was it in 2014 that, the game releases are going to be a little bit sparse. That's because they were still in the planning stages and still having things going on behind the scenes. Not this time. This time they tripled down before the generation even started because they knew this is it. This is how we do it. This is how we have our most successful console generation ever. Honestly. iStyler18, you're saying with reviews out and embargoes lifted, why haven't we seen any 4K 60 testing on Sony's titles like God of War or The Last of Us yet? I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect from The Last of Us, but I believe, was it Push? It was either Push Square or PlayStation Universe that I think they did show some God of War gameplay. I know they showed some Days Gone gameplay, and it was really impressive, apparently. We also have Starscream once again. Actually, did I miss? I think I may have missed the super chat. Yeah, Jonathan, you're saying IGN. I'm getting close to the mic, by the way, because I don't know why I'm like losing my voice. So I'm not even screaming, but I'm losing my voice. So let me sit closer to my mic here. I'm gonna read this super chat in a second. Hold on, guys. Let me adjust this. So, Jonathan, you're saying IGN should have scored the PS5 at 9 and the Xbox an 8. I feel that they favor Microsoft, and why would they score the same when Xbox has 0 new games? Yeah, dude, I feel you there. Anybody who tuned into my rant earlier this week, you'll know that I basically freaked out because, you know, they were basically saying that, oh, you know, because most of the PS5's launch lineup is on PS4, you know, that's a detriment to the console. And I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what? Like, it's ridiculous, dude. I agree. Like, you know, the scores, to be honest, I don't care. I don't give a shit what IGN scores the PS5. I don't care. Like, what I do care is that, you know, millions of people do look at their reviews, man. And I just think, like, how are you going to be this harsh on the PS5's launch lineup? Like, you're going to make it sound like, oh, it's so weak and it's on PS4. Like, stop. There's millions of people who are going to be playing Demon's Souls on PS5. The 1B 22,000, you're saying people are continuously speaking on ray tracing when the most impressive real-time footage we've seen is the Unreal Engine 5 demo, and it doesn't have ray tracing. Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, ray tracing is great. And it seems like the way Sony's going to be implementing it for quite some time is, if you want ray tracing, you are going to have the 30 FPS trade-off. But if you go watch Digital Foundry's breakdown of Spider-Man Miles Morales, John Linneman is saying, like, look, the toughest thing with the PS5 in their games, and he did say it's only going to get better from here, but he said the toughest thing you're going to have to deal with is deciding, you know, what you want to play it at. Like, do you want to go for the performance mode? Because he was saying that the fidelity mode in Spider-Man looks incredible. Like, the real-time ray tracing really does add so much visually to the experience in the game, but it does come at the cost of you can't get that 60 FPS, but you do have that option. And so he was saying that, like, choosing between that is going to be the real difficult decision. And the fact that you'll even have that choice, though, like, that's it right here, guys. Like, dude, how can anybody sit here and talk smack on the PS5 when the last time I checked, it's the only console? Like, look, I think Watch Dogs offers ray tracing on the Series X, okay, but that is at 30 FPS, you know, and it's just like, I think you guys understand what I'm getting at. Like, what Sony's doing is impressive, and I'm just tired of seeing people downplay it. I don't care anymore. Look, the PS5 is a couple days away. You know, people know what people who are excited for the PS5 know exactly why they're excited for it. You know, people want to dunk on Sony right now. They want to try to anyway, and they want to be like, haha, like, all this bad news. It's like, go ahead, you keep running with that and try to convince yourself that that's going to in any way, shape, or form affect how well the PS5 does or doesn't do. And it's not good. Like, dude, come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Come in a little bit closer right now, okay? Come in a little bit closer. Do you really think Sony's not going to stomp Microsoft again this generation? I mean, come on. Like, console-wise, they know what they're doing. Sony's been in the console space for years, and they've dominated the console space for years. They know what they're doing. Anybody who thinks that the PS5 isn't going to stomp the Series X, you're delusional. Okay, and I know I'm going in hard right now. I know that, oh man, MBG's getting his ASMR on right now. Really going, you know, low-key stomping on these Xbox dudes. But come on, guys, get real. Like, can we be real right now? Am I saying that Sony's perfect? No. Am I saying you sound like a guy who's in a dark alley? Yeah. Am I saying Sony's perfect? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't underestimate Sony right now, man, because they know what people want. They know what people want more so than Microsoft does. I will admit, Microsoft's marketing, they've been doing a good job convincing people of the 12 T-flops, full RDNA 2, but come on. They have no choice but to focus on those things because they can't really market their games because their games are not really there or ready. Let me move this around here. Hold on one sec, guys. All right, so we have some super chats I want to read real quick. Yeah, people are always joking around like, dude, you should do ASMR. I'm like, that's the closest thing you're gonna get to it. Right now, I would like to do ASMR because my throat it's killing me, guys. Like, I may have to cut this podcast short. I don't know why. I'm not like sick or anything, but it's just raw, I think, from talking so much. Billy Too Smooth, you're saying, yo, you said you're leaving your PS4 behind, yet you can't sleep on Ghost of Tsushima Legends. That is one of my favorite multiplayer games I played. 60 FPS on PS5. Yeah, that's true. I mean, dude, I love Ghost of Tsushima. I've been enjoying Legends, but I hate to say it, man. For now, anyway, it's gonna have to take a back seat. I mean, dude, I got a docket of games that I got to get to, man. But I did beat all of the story missions for Legends, and I did enjoy it. Siler18, you're saying ASMR material right here. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Morgan, you're saying, I remember back when you said you just wanted the option for 60 FPS. Sony gave you that. I don't know why people call you fanboy. Exactly, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up because I think people do need to be reminded that all those people who are like, all those people who are like, dude, what are you going to do when the PS5 can't do native 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing? Like, I hate to break it to you, the Series X isn't going to be able to do that either. Like, do people not realize how taxing ray tracing is? Like, you'll be thankful to get ray tracing at all on a $400 to $500 machine, honestly. So, yeah, that's just the way it's going to be. I said it before, and I'll reiterate it here. All I ever want from any of these games is I want them to be 4K, obviously, because I feel like, we're in the next gen. I think it's okay to expect that, whether it be dynamic or native, but I want the option. If I don't want ray tracing, I want 60 FPS. And you're completely right. You're saying that we're getting the options. We are getting the options, guys. I can't complain. Chris B, you're saying I broke down and pre-ordered Godfall. Yeah, me too, man. I have Godfall coming. I don't know when I'm gonna play it because I think it looks great and I'm excited for it and I will play it. But man, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm telling you, this is why I genuinely feel sorry for the Xbox side of things, because I'm over here thinking, like, how the hell am I gonna play all these games? Like, genuinely, how? Like, I want to play them all. I want to enjoy them all. How am I gonna do it? I mean, with the Xbox dudes, they're just like, yeah, we're going to play backwards compatible games. And, they will have the multiplats, but talking about the multiplats, this is where, a lot of people are assuming that the Series X is going to perform better with the multiplat games. And I'm just like, but isn't that the expectation that has been set this whole time? Like, wouldn't it be more surprising if they didn't? Do you guys see what I'm getting at here? Do you see how I'm letting you know? Like, I'm trying to let you know what the expectation really is here, what it has been, and that is the Series X is supposed to have better performing multiplats. And let me ask you something. What would be what's going to be considered more shocking? Honestly, would it be more shocking if they didn't have better performing multiplats to some extent? Or is it more shocking that the PS5 is loading in some backwards compatible PS4 games? MBG is in fanboy mode now. I'm not, dude. Tell me how I'm in fanboy mode. I'm sitting here saying I expect multiplat games to run and look slightly better on the Series X. That's what Microsoft told me. That's what all the Xbox dudes told me. Am I wrong for having that expectation? So what I'm really trying to get at here, because I know I'm talking in circles a little bit. I'm losing my train of thought rapidly for some reason. What I'm really trying to get at is that that's all they have, guys. Like that's what I'm trying to say. They have the power narrative, and games are going to look and run slightly better, or apparently much better, right? Um, they have that. They have backwards compatibility, but even then, like, come on, guys, like, yes, Microsoft has put more into backwards compatibility than Sony has in some areas, but Sony also has that. Like, you can play these games on your PS5 like that. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, oh, you got to wait a little bit longer to load in the Red Dead 2 on your PS5. Like, who cares? Like, you can play it on your PS5, man. So like even like I can't sit here and say, "Oh, the Xbox dudes they have backwards compatibility and PlayStation dudes don't." Like that would be a straight up lie. No, we have backwards compatibility. So I'm just trying to say really considering all the games are, that Xbox fans are looking forward to, at this point it's safe to say all the games that Xbox fans are looking forward to are multi-plat games. They don't have any major launch titles. So I'm saying like all they have left to hold on to as ammunition is, well, we have the power. We had the 12 T-flops. And so, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. I'm just waiting for the Digital Foundry breakdown. It's going to run at native 4K on the Series X. It's going to run at dynamic 4K on the PS5. Like, okay, great. Was that not the expectation that was set up this entire time? Congratulations. You won. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, however, see, here's the thing. I want to tell you this too. These Xbox fanboys, the dudes who attack me and stuff, man, and they show up on the channel in force sometimes. Let me tell you something. The odds are stacked against them, in my opinion, anyway. And they set this up themselves. I'm going to tell you why. There's 3 outcomes, guys. Okay, once the consoles are both out there and Digital Foundry starts really diving in deep with their comparisons, we're gonna talk about it. Everybody's gonna talk about it because it's the last thing that we're all wondering. I think the odds are stacked against these Xbox dudes, mainly because there's 3 different outcomes that are possible, and 2 of those outcomes will not be good for the Xbox fans. All right, the first outcome, and I'm going to let you know right now, this is the outcome I personally am anticipating. The first outcome is Digital Foundry does their testing on multi-platform games, and the overwhelming majority of these multi-platform games run at slightly higher resolutions or maybe even have slightly more stable frame rates than they do on the PS5. That's my personal expectation, just letting you know. Okay, that's one of 3 outcomes. The second outcome is, in my opinion, not going to be good for Xbox fans if this is in fact what happens. And Digital Foundry comes out and they're like, well, we've done extensive testing on multiple multi-platform titles, and it turns out they're identical. They run at the same resolutions. They run at the same frame rates. They load in the same time frame, basically. That's going to be a detriment to the Xbox dudes because at that point, everybody's going to turn their head to these guys and be like, wait a second. Didn't you tell me that there was supposed to be a difference? And mark my words, the goalpost will move. And you know what the goalpost is going to be? If it does come out that these games do run and look pretty much the same, the goalpost is going to be, well, you need to just wait longer. Wait until developers really harness the full power of the 12 T-flop Xbox Series X. Then you're going to see a difference. So in other words, we're going to have to wait to see the difference. But that would be pretty dumb rhetoric if you think about it. That would be a pretty dumb thing to say because at that point, it's like Xbox fans are also admitting that they too have to wait for that to become a reality. So not only are you waiting for the games, but you're waiting for the better multiplats, even though you just bought the world's most powerful console. You see what I'm saying? So there's that outcome. And then there's the third outcome, which I think is the most unlikely, but boy, oh boy, would it be a hell of a show if it's what happens. The third outcome is somehow, some way, multi-platform games are running slightly better or looking slightly better on the PS5. Now, again, I'm not expecting that, so do not take what I'm saying and say, MBG said. No, I'll tell you what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't expect that. I do not. Okay? Everybody tells me that the PS5 is the weaker console, and I just need to accept that. Well, here I am accepting it. I mean, I'm going to be playing Demon Souls on that weaker console. Looks better than anything Microsoft has shown so far, but that's okay. That's okay. It's the weaker console, right? So, look, those are the three outcomes we're going to see. And I'm just being honest right now when I say that I do think the odds are stacked against these Xbox guys because, look, they're going to tell you that, no, it's the developer's fault. It's the developer's fault if the games run the same. It won't matter at that point, okay? So if I was 2017 MBG right now and I was going in hard on Xbox, I'm going in hard on Xbox. I'm like, yeah, Xbox, most powerful console. Xbox rules. PlayStation sucks. Best multi-plat games. You see these guys doing this right now, okay? It's gonna, I would be a little bit nervous if I was them. I really would be. I'd be sitting there praying to my Phil Spencer shrine. Please let the Series X have better looking multiplats and better performing multiplats. Because when I tell you guys that they need that, I'm not exaggerating. They don't just want it. They literally need it. The 1B, thank you so much for that donation, buddy. You're saying we have already seen what's going to happen on multiplats. The difference will be marginal at best. The Dirt 5 PS5 version actually ran better, but that's supposedly because the Series X version didn't have a patch. 40% versus 20. Well, we will see, my friend. We will see. I'm not jumping the gun on anything now because I'm going to wait until the games are out and they're all tested. It's going to be interesting. But as I said, I want to make it crystal clear to everybody listening to this. I've been making it clear, but I just need to continue to reiterate it because you already know what's going to happen. People are going to try to twist my words on me when in fact there's no twisting to be done here because I'm making it crystal clear. I, MBG, am announcing right now that I fully expect the majority, not every, but the majority of multi-platform games that are released on the Xbox Series X and the PS5 to run slightly better on the Series X or look slightly better on the Series X. I'm setting the expectation right now. Then we will wait and we will see what happens. Now, I got some tea here in front of me. The noise, if I'm saying your name correctly, you say, hey, any advice on starting a YouTube channel revolving around news around the gaming industry? I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I don't know how to start. Any name ideas, by the way? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no name ideas. Because when I tell you that I spent days and days thinking of my muscle-bound gamer name that eventually turned into MBG, too much brain power right now, buddy. I can't do that. However, my advice would be you got to start somewhere and you got to be willing to experiment and you have to keep going even when it seems like you're not getting anywhere because when it comes to YouTube, there's only one guarantee, and that is if you don't do it, you're not going to get anything in return. But as long as you continue to try, you'll get something. Griffin Gaming sure will twist your words. He cannot make his own original content. Jesus, don't even get me started, man. I'm not even going to go there. It's fucking ridiculous what people do, man. You guys are just going to have to listen to some ASMR tea sipping right now because my throat, I don't know why my throat is killing me. Like I want to keep, like I have more I want to say. I'm just literally having a difficult time because my throat is killing me, but I got this tea here. So let me drink some, see what you guys are saying. Yes, I'm purposely sipping it that way so you can hear me sipping it. So you're like, there's not just awkward, complete silence. Oh, that's the stuff though, man. Really needed that big time. But yeah, that's what's weird about doing this stuff, man, is like, I make daily content and guys, like I'm telling you right now, when the day comes when I don't make a video for a day or two, it's not going to be because I don't have anything to talk about. It's going to be because I literally need to like give my throat a rest. Like I constantly, I don't know what it is, man. Maybe I will just have to start doing ASMR, I think that's going to happen. Don't worry. Don't leave the podcast yet. We have more topics to go over. Don't worry. We still have We have more to discuss. Just give me a second here. MBG, what is VRS? It's variable rate shading. I'm pretty sure the PS5 has its own custom version of it, I'm assuming. MBG drinking Xbox fanboy tears. Yep, delicious. Nothing makes me feel better. All right, I think that's good for now. Solid Crusader, you're saying, I am wondering if Naughty Dog will release an Uncharted 4 upgrade for PS5. Also, Digital Foundry showed one game that was running at 1440p, 60 FPS on PS5. Which game was that? Also, I don't think they will, honestly. I think Naughty Dog, they are clearly busy with a lot of stuff, so it's anybody's guess, man. It'd be great if they did. Uncharted 5's coming, guys. Just so you know. I mean, look, I don't want to say that as if I have some kind of inside source, but guys, there's enough breadcrumbs that have been left. Uncharted 5 is coming. Don't worry. For those who are Uncharted fans. MBG, it isn't surprising that the PS5 doesn't have VRR at launch, even though Sony stated that it would have VRR at launch. Just like John Linneman from Digital Foundry, I'm disappointed about that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, it's difficult for me to be upset about some of this stuff, but I do appreciate all your super chats, by the way, guys. It showing some awesome support today. Oh yeah, okay. So somebody, yes, just so we know, Mark Wahlberg does have a mustache as Sully, so that's been confirmed. Just for the movie, the Uncharted movie. Just want to say that's good. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Maybe he'll pull it off, man. Maybe he will pull it off. That would be a hell of a thing. I'm going to go see that. Guys, I would love to just I want to see the Uncharted movie, and it's going to be great. Saying JT, you're saying, will you be playing COD Zombies? I probably will be, yeah. I plan to play a lot of Call of Duty. I don't know how I'm going to find the time to play all these damn games. Really don't. Unintended Studios, you're saying, I work with vocalist daily. Vocal Ease Spray is a lifesaver. So is Throat Coat Tea. That's actually what I'm drinking, by the way, the Throat Coat Tea. It's really nice. You're saying in room temperature water. Yeah, I have that tea. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, you don't realize, like, you talk so much and it actually, it strains your throat, man. It really does, in your voice. But let me see here. I do have, all right, so I got to run. I know this podcast is getting a little bit derailed, but I do have some other topics to go over here. So let me refer to my notes. I got my paper right in front of me. Okay, the PS5 and Xbox Series X have both come in, and there are some big differences between the two, it seems, based off of the reviews. Overall, they are both getting positive reception, but the PS5 seems to have some big advantages in the form of a strong launch lineup and the DualSense. It seems that the PS5 is set to potentially dominate the upcoming generation. I see a lot of guys asking me questions. A lot of you guys asking me questions. Hold off on that. We will be doing a chat Q&A at the end of the podcast once I get through all of these topics. So, but yeah, look, again, a lot of really positive stuff is being said about both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, but I do think that the two biggest differences between the two consoles is the fact that, the Series X, and it has been rightly criticized for not really having a strong launch lineup, basically a non-existent launch lineup. It makes it really hard to, sell people on a new console without the new games there, at least some at launch. But the DualSense as well. Like, guys, the DualSense is clearly becoming a game changer. It is a game changer. And a lot of people are thinking that, it's going to make it sound like, it's just it's gimmicky. It's nobody's going to use it. Like, no, people are loving the DualSense. It's kind of crazy. And the whole battery thing with that, yeah, that was fake news. So don't even listen to that. You're going to get anywhere between, depending on how heavy, the haptics are being used, you're probably going to get anywhere between 9 and 13 hours, but of battery life out of it. So that's that 2-hour report, completely fake news. The 1B22,000, you're saying VRR isn't needed if the game is optimized and not dropping frames. I honestly can't remember the last time I've seen screen tearing on a PS4 game. Yeah, that is a good point. The 1B. I think a lot of people are kind of missing. They're losing again the forest for the trees here with little details like that. Like variable refresh rate is really, as you said, only needed for games that can't hit a stable frame rate. But so far, I don't know if Digital Foundry's breakdown is anything to go by with Spider-Man in particular. I mean, it's going to vary from game to game, but Spider-Man in particular, solid 30 FPS that does not drop at all when you're playing it in the fidelity mode. Solid 60 FPS where the only time there's maybe some slight drops by a frame or two, maybe in some cutscenes, but that's about it. So, but yeah, when it comes to the reviews of these consoles, like it is nice to see that they're both overall getting good reviews. You guys know I kind of lost it on IGN with their review because they put out two tweets that, I know people are like, oh, it's just a tweet, man. It's like, no, dude, millions of people are going to look at this and they're going to read this shit. And it's like, they're coming out here for the Xbox Series X being like, it's a great, compact, powerful machine that does a lot of really great things. And quick resume is awesome. Read our review. And then they tweet out about the PS5 review and they're like, well, with all the PS5 launch titles also being on PS4, the PS5 doesn't quite land its knockout punch just yet, but it has potential and the DualSense is cool. It's like, what? Like, dude, like you get somebody else to review this shit because you suck, dude. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you sound like a buzzkill, Like, there's people out here literally like, holy shit, this console's awesome. And there's a lot of great games at launch, and the DualSense is sick, and it has some unique new features. And like, you're gonna come out here and like word it that way? Get out of here! Come on. I'm not saying you need to overly hype it, but Jesus, man, you don't have to sit there and make it sound like it's some kind of like, whoa. Also, I'm just gonna be real. The PS5 already did land its knockout punch, whether anybody wants to believe it or not. That came in the form of finding out that we're getting not only Demon's Souls and Spider-Man at the launch, but we're getting Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok within 1 year of launch. Also, Silent Hill. It's a real thing, guys. It's a real thing. So that could be the knockout punch, maybe. The Wonderful Gaming Co., you're saying, funny how no one is talking about DualShock 4 support anymore after the DualSense reviews. Another non-issue. I do think Pro Pads should be supported, though. Yeah, I mean, look, it's definitely, I do think it's an issue for some people, but this is one of those things where I'm just saying, like, you can only complain about it so much until you realize, like, well, what are you going to do? Spend all your time complaining, or just maybe accept it and move on and voice your concern or opinion and move on. Enjoy what you can enjoy, All right. Okay, something else I did want to talk about, guys, because I'm kind of going to start really going through these topics now. You're saying MBG, actually, the PS5 has a similar quick resume feature if games support it. For example, in Spider-Man Miles Morales, in the UI activity menu, you can choose a mission and the game will start exactly there. So there you go. That's pretty cool. There is an option. All right. So the first official PS5 game reviews have officially come in, that being for Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is sitting at an 85 on Metacritic. But we also have Astro's Playroom, which is sitting at an 82 on Metacritic. Now, we don't have the reviews for Demon's Souls just yet, but I have a very good feeling about them. And I wanted to ask you guys, where do we think Demon's Souls is going to sit at on Metacritic? Because I can tell you right now, these are the first two PS5 games that were reviewed. Both are PlayStation exclusives, both sitting at over an 80 on Metacritic. Spider-Man sitting at an 85. Okay, like that's amazing. That's a great start. It'll be interesting to see how Sackboy reviews as well. But am I the only one here who feels that it seems likely Demon's Souls is going to get a 90 or above? I mean, maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I don't know, man. I think Demon's Souls is basically setting the bar for a remake, and I think it's gonna get like overwhelmingly positive reviews. Also, really quickly, guys. And this one, I want to interact with the chat real quick because I thought this was kind of interesting. Apparently, there were a few review outlets that gave Spider-Man Miles Morales like a 7 out of 10. What's up with that? Like, I know GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. Why are I know I should have looked into it, and I was probably going to do a video on it as well, so I'll probably look deeper into it. But what is up with that? Like, is that really, like, why are they giving it a 7 out of 10? What are the negatives that they're pointing out? I'm really confused because, like, I don't know, man. Spider-Man Miles Morales, considering it is cheaper than a full price game, so I think it's okay with it being shorter. Why? Like, it looks like it's at bare minimum an 8 out of 10, and just in terms of pure quality, right? So, because the game isn't 50 hours long. I really hope that's not why they're knocking it, dude. Like, come on. They made it crystal clear this game is not a full-blown sequel. The price reflects that. Come on. Like, I really hope that's not why, man, because that's really dumb. This is why, like, look, this is why sometimes I do pay attention to these reviews, because oh yeah, dude, like, I saw, like, there was some controversy with the GameSpot review specifically. I don't know why. I didn't look into it, but yeah, I don't know, man. Anyone see that lamp bug in Miles Morales on Yanya's channel? That was hilarious. I don't know. I came across that. I didn't watch it, but it sounds pretty funny. MBG, not every game needs to be 50 plus hours. I agree. Primal Plasma, you're saying, I played the new Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity Nintendo Switch demo. Pure gameplay joy. This proves that gameplay is more important than specs. 100%, man. 100%. I like what Sony's doing with the PS5's power. I like what they're showcasing visually. And I agree, dude. Gameplay is king. That's why we go in hard on Halo Infinite. Okay? We go in hard on Halo Infinite. And if I basically get down to a whisper by the time this podcast is up, I apologize, but dude, I'm not kidding. Like, I want to keep talking. I really do. My throat it's gone, or my voice, it's gone. So just bear with me here. I'm literally like going to have to eat my microphone here apparently to to properly speak. So I do apologize for that, guys, but it's true, man. Like, gameplay is king. We clown on Halo Infinite, but let's be honest. Like, if Halo Infinite comes out and it's a great game to play, and people are like, the game may look terrible, maybe it doesn't even run. I'm sure it'll run fine, but there's Craigs everywhere. But if it's fun to play, then like that's what matters, man. It really does. So, you're saying a PS5 video just got posted regarding the thermals by Digital Foundry. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. So yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that Craig's everywhere. I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that the first two PS5 games are both currently sitting over an 80 on Metacritic, and I think that's extremely impressive. And it'll be even more impressive if Demon Souls can hit above an 85, possibly into the 90s. I think that would be amazing. So, what other topics do I have here? I think I went over everything. Okay, so there is one other question I wanted to ask the chat. Before I do, guys, hit that like button. We're actually over 800 likes, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much. Let's see if we can get to 850 likes, maybe even 900. Let's see if we can do it. Hit that like button, guys. I wanted to ask you guys, now that we are only 4 days away from the PS5, how are we feeling? How are we feeling? Are we feeling more hyped? Is the hype really starting to set in? Is it a feeling of almost torture? Because because we're this close. Junior Jackson, you're saying Digital Foundry just released their PS5 review, MBG. Did they? Maybe we can do a live reaction right here. Right here. Should we do it, guys? I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to, honestly, because I don't know if I have it set up correctly. I don't have my headphones or anything. What's being said, though? What's being said? What's being said from the Digital Foundry review? Can you guys give me... You guys are saying, yeah, do it. I think maybe I jumped the gun with that because I don't have... Maybe I can. I don't know. Let me... Here. Give me a second, guys. Maybe I can get it set up because At this point, I'd rather have somebody else start talking because, dude, my voice is shot. This really sucks. Is it on YouTube? I thought their review came out. Are you talking about their video review? That awkward moment when I go on YouTube and my own podcast shows up. Okay. Yeah, they did. All right. Give me a sec here. If you really want to do this live, give me a sec here and maybe I can make it happen. Hold on. Do it, bro. It'd help rush. All right. Give me a second. All right. Let me. F it. We'll do it live. I may have some serious technical difficulties here. I don't know. Because the thing is, I'm gonna have to. All right. I want to give me a second to think about how to do this. The best way to do this. I don't think I should do a screen cap, so I'm gonna see if I can just. All right, you may hear it for a second here. Hold on. Because I want to get it up on screen for you guys as well. So give me just a second. I hate dead air, in case you can't tell. I hate dead air. That's why I got to keep sitting here saying this stuff. I want to see if I can just download it real quick and then just bring it up on the stream. So I just got to give it a minute to download. I hope the download may take too long. That's the only problem because I am streaming currently. So bear with me here. I will so it's okay. It's downloading. It's just taking a little bit. So you know what? I got to go get my headphones, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. This podcast is about to get completely derailed and just become like a watch party if it goes the way I'm hoping. But I can't. So I can only download it at 1080p 60 FPS, which I'm fine with that. Plug my headphones in. Okay, got my headphones plugged in. Let me change the audio source real quick. Speakers. It's still downloading. It says it's got about a minute. So I'm gonna have to remove the credits. And I'm also going to have to remove the gameplay. So you guys are gonna see the gameplay be removed. So you're just gonna see a blank screen now. It's still downloading. So let me. Yeah, because I am really interested in Digital Foundry's review. I really am because, I don't know if it's John Linneman that's reviewing it, but dude, wow. Okay, so I'm on the comment section right now, and you gotta love how you could tell there's just so many salty people, man. One of the top comments: so much for the power of the SSD, LMAO. Like, you kidding me? Just looking at some of the comments here. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me check. I'm going to have to actually check to see if I can get the audio to come through on your end too. So are people still watching my, okay. So how many people do we have here? Okay. We have still 1,100 people here, which is awesome. Did I miss any super chats? I don't know if I missed any super chats, guys. Okay. I just got one now. Okay. It says the download's finished. MH, you're saying something just happened on Twitter. Tagged you. Curious what you think about it. Let me go check real quick. Yeah, I'm just basically free-forming right now because I don't know what's going on. Where was I tagged? Let me see. I got so much crap going on Twitter. I don't even know. I'm not seeing anything, dude. But let me all right, let me get this sorted out really quick, guys, and we will Hopefully this will work the way I'm hoping. So I have to enable desktop audio, and let me add a media source, do df review. Okay, now I just have to find it. One sec. What? PlayStation 5 review power. Almost there, almost there. Where's it at? Just got to find the file. Here we go. Okay, let's
it's time to pull back the curtain on Sony's next generation console. You've had questions and likely lots of them since Mark Cerny's Road to PlayStation 5 presentation.
This is going to be a problem if you guys can hear it and I can't.
Thanks in no small part to the state of the world as it is right now, we've not had the chance to go hands-on with PlayStation 5 until, well, last week. Since then, we've been putting the console through its paces. And let's make things crystal clear here.
Why can't I hear it?
As you'll see from the raft of coverage we have lined up.
This isn't working the way it's supposed to work.
PlayStation 5 is a home run from Sony. It's not without its faults.
Sorry guys, I am gonna have to cut it because I can't react to it with you if I can't hear it. All right. I think I'm gonna have to do a window capture. I don't think I really have much choice, because I don't know why I can't hear it on my end. Okay, you're all saying you can hear it, but I can't. Does anybody know why I wouldn't be able to hear it? Because that's what's confusing me. I'm using OBS and I had the file. I just basically brought the download file. Watch your own stream, LOL. I could do that, but I feel like that would put too much strain. Brandon, you're saying if you need to cut the podcast early, rest your voice, it's no problem at all. We understand completely. Yeah, I don't want to cut it early. I mean, I feel like at this point, like, you know, we want to watch the DF. I appreciate that, dude. I do. We want to watch the DF review. So, all right, let me do it. Look, I could probably do a window capture, but the problem is the quality may not be as good. So give me just a sec here. Let me do window capture. Okay. So I got to fit this to the screen. And let me check. All right, can you? It's probably going to be really laggy at first.
I am very proud to announce a pandemic
Oh, Jesus.
special.
They're going to try and make us go back to school. You really?
All right, so can you guys hear that? Because I'm going to put it full screen. I just got to make sure the audio is good. Can you guys hear the video? Yes. Okay. All right. We should be good to go. I'm going to have to use my phone for the chat right now. So let's do this. We'll do a live reaction during the podcast to Digital Foundry's review. Here we go. It may be a little bit
to pull back the curtain on
not
Sony's
good.
next generation console. You've had questions and likely lots of them since Mark Cerny's Road to PlayStation 5 presentation. So many months ago now, and thanks in no small part to the state of the world as it is right now, we've not had the chance to go hands-on with PlayStation 5 until, well, last week. Since then, we've been putting the console through its paces, and let's make things crystal clear here. As you'll see from the raft of coverage we have lined up, I think PlayStation 5 is a home run from Sony. It's not without its faults, but the vision here is crystal clear. What sets Sony's endeavors apart is its commitment to the concept of the console
Probably
generation.
lagging real bad, guys.
And yeah, PlayStation 5, it's just terrific. So in this video, I'm going to be talking
It almost
about
sounded like he said it's
thoughts about the
horrific.
new machine,
I know he said
the
terrific,
controller,
but
the UI, and the various display options you have. I'm also going to be measuring power draw from the machine and getting to grips with the thermal solution, courtesy of some thermal photography of the system under load. But I also want to talk about the experience of PlayStation 5, and key to this is the concept of removing friction, the lag that has got in the way of today's consoles delivering the plug-and-play experiences of the games machines of old. PlayStation 5 isn't quite as instant as a good old-fashioned cartridge machine, but man,
20 minutes.
It's a gigantic improvement over the last couple of console generations. Now, PlayStation 5, it can boot from cold in around 13 to 14 seconds, half that if you're booting up from rest mode. Load up Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and you're in the game in around 8 seconds. And you can basically halve that if you're not counting the menu transitions, as I am here. Now, games are going to need to be tailored to this revolutionary new hardware, but look, at launch, this is all hugely impressive stuff. I also think Sony deserves a huge amount of credit for delivering a console. This is the problem about doing window capture, it's lagging. That is an enormous improvement in terms of cooling and acoustics compared to PS4 and PS4 Pro. Now, yes, in the unboxing video, we talked about the form factor. It is big, and positioning it within a media cabinet is going to be challenging. Similar to Xbox Series X, I think in horizontal configuration it looks rather ungainly, and it does require the supplied stand to work without wobbling.
It's lagging really bad, and I don't know why.
The console, there's a good chance that the stand can come loose.
I knew doing this live was gonna.
It just looks better, and obviously it has a much smaller footprint.
I don't know if it'll sort itself
but
out.
You're here for the thermals and power draw information, right? So let's get to it. First of all, similar to Series X, I think that noise is basically a non-issue.
Oh, geez, I have it at 4K. That's eating up a lot of bandwidth. Sorry, guys.
Pretty much a waste of time. Close up to the console, you can hear the slight whir
720. See if that
of the fan, but in living room, office, or bedroom conditions, it disappears into the ambient
Xbox
noise.
Series X looks like
also,
a big roach motel.
PlayStation 5 sorts out any potential heat dissipation issues, as you can see as we review the console via thermal photography. Test methodology here. I used photo mode in Spider-Man Miles Morales to freeze frame a high power scene, then applied a ton of filters in an effort to add a few more watts, and then I left the console for an hour. Now we're going to be talking about power draw just a little bit further on in this video, but as you can see, the thermal camera reveals some fascinating images. The top of the machine is essentially at room temperature, and you get some idea of the positioning of the main system processor by the brighter color in the middle of the console here. Curious though that just to the right of that, it's still pretty cool, mid-20s Celsius. Taking a look at the front of the console, the heat source at the bottom looks more pronounced, and you can see that side vents are warmer there in the mid-40s. Essentially, they're doing their job. The rear of PlayStation 5 is the main escape for the heat. The whole rear of the unit is basically a big vent, and temperatures hit around 50 Celsius max here generally. You may see hotter white points. The LAN port here hits 57 Celsius.
By the way, if it's lagging on your end, that's actually just the way the video looks right now with
to worry about.
the way they're recording the heat.
All told then, job done.
Just a heads up.
PlayStation 5 is indeed a monstrous beast for sure, but the days of jet engine noises coming from your Sony consoles are over.
God.
PlayStation 5 is cool and quiet, and that's fantastic.
Cool and quiet.
Next up, power draw.
That's what I like to hear.
I've synchronized camera feeds of my watt meter with system capture, so we can get an idea of what's what with the watt meter. On the front end, power consumption is quite high at 70 watts, but drops back into the 60s. Then, as we boot into Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, we suddenly spike to around 200 watts. Interesting figure this, as it's pretty much on par with what we saw with Gears 5 on Xbox Series X. Now I thought it might be cool to stack up the 4K 30 quality mode with the 4K 60 performance mode. In like-for-like scenes, we're pretty much on par at 195 to 200 watts typically. Does seem to open out a touch with a bit of web slinging though, where the performance mode seems to need more power to get the job done. Now I can repeat that process with Capcom's Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, where both 4K 30 quality and 4K 60 performance modes seem to push the system hard. Again, we're topping out at around 200 watts, sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower. PlayStation 5's SoC is based on the idea of a boost clock with a fixed power limit, and the evidence suggests that total system power consumption without factoring in attached peripherals and such is at the 200 watt level. So yeah, as expected, don't be concerned about the 350 watt power supply in the machine. To put that 200 watts into perspective, God of War on PS4 Pro draws about 170.
Oh.
Interestingly though, Astro's Playroom, obviously it's a simpler game and you can see that
Astro's
reflected
Playroom
in the power draw here.
pumps up to 250 watts.
Higher in busier scenes. Back compat power draw next.
MH, you're saying anyone else that read the 135C at first before they saw the crosshair?
On PS4 Pro and PS5 in compatibility mode. The efficiency gains here are simply excellent. PlayStation 5 is delivering the same workload as PS4 Pro, and sometimes it's requiring 40 watts less to get the job done. Let's take a look at NAC running in PS4 Pro high resolution mode. A curious title choice for sure, but the bottom line
Anyone
is
going to be playing NAC on their
Pro,
PS5?
this can drop below 30 frames per second, while on PS5 it's locked 60 from start to finish. Even so,
we'd have to play NAC first, guys.
Doubling performance and often exceeding that, PlayStation 5 still draws significantly less power than PS4 Pro, just as we saw in our Xbox Series X power draw and thermal analysis. That's the power of the 7nm silicon right there. So I want to speak a bit about the DualSense controller. You can get most of my thoughts in the PS5 Series X unboxing video, but I wanted to try to convey how good this controller is in a video. And this is difficult.
Got my DualSense in front of me right now.
The idea of haptic feedback, resistive triggers, you've got to feel it. Me telling you about it isn't really going to cut the mustard.
Yeah.
Well, I can try to simulate the effect for you by recording audio from the pad only.
Please do so.
Yes, there's a speaker in the controller, but I'm resting the DualSense on a solid desk here, and the haptics present almost like a subwoofer. We're converting vibrations into low-end sound here. Okay, so headphones will really help with this.
I have headphones.
First of all, listen to this. As Astro lands on the ground here, you can hear the bumps, but I'm actually feeling them. The sound is significant, but only because the feel is. Now have a listen as Astro heads into this mini sandstorm. The sound of particles, the roar of the storm. Again, you're hearing it, but I'm feeling it in the controller.
No, Junior Jackson, you didn't screw up the podcast.
No one told me my bill was going to double after 1 year.
This ad is, though.
Down. What are these fees?
No, dude, I wanted to do this. This is helping me. I'm keeping the content going here on the channel. And it's helping me rest my voice a little bit.
Now let's try something else. The sound here of Astro's metal legs skating over the ice. Again, at the risk of repeating myself, you're hearing it, but I'm feeling it. That punchy low end there, that's all sensation that you'll feel in your hands from the DualSense controller.
That is pretty crazy. I'm wearing my my high-end headphones, and I can hear that. I'm definitely gonna have to give Astro's Playroom a try.
What you're hearing there is the DualSense speaker, but also the haptics converted into sound. Let's end this section by fading out the haptics and DualSense speaker and bringing game audio from the console only. But let's move on and look at the user interface and your display options, including HDMI 2.1 features. Let's just say that I love the interface. It feels futuristic, state-of-the-art, premium,
actually new.
next gen. So yeah,
Next
recently
gen.
Sony put together a presentation highlighting its innovative card system, easy ways to get you into
I'm
the
like
game
screaming now
to
for some
promote
reason.
discovery. But man, just the nuts and bolts of the UI are beautiful. Yes, it's a 4K native interface, but it's running throughout in HDR and looks simply terrific. The iconography for each game and background artwork.
People can say what they want about the lack of a UI not being 4K, but I'm all for it, man.
SDR are mapped into HDR space, which looks particularly impressive on an OLED display. John's already published a UI tour on the channel, so for the full breakdown, be sure to check that out. But I'd like to highlight some basic stuff that caught my eye. And yes, we're going to be answering some FAQs. Now, Microsoft has garnered plaudits for its quick resume system that effectively employs save states for various games, dumping system memory to SSD, then bringing it back in and getting you straight back into the experience. Now, bottom line, PlayStation 5 does not have this. The closest you'll get is the switcher in the dock at the bottom. It's not really the same thing, and its utility is limited. It's like a fast boot, a shortcut if you like. And yeah, SSD space is at a premium on the PlayStation 5.
9 seconds
with
later.
667 gigs of available space. So presumably no room for a quick resume like cache. Next up, let's talk about display options, because this has been a matter of much debate. First of all, HDMI 2.1. Yes, PlayStation 5 supports it. Yes, the HDMI cable you get in the box is good for 4K bandwidth at 120 Hz. Here's a look at the screen and video menu. Looks pretty familiar if you're a PS4 owner, right?
Yes, it
does. On my capture device here, we are limited to HDMI 2.0, so no next-gen display features here. But as with PS4, you can view video output information so you know what formats your screen supports that PS5 can tap into. 4K video transfer rate? That's new, but it's all about chroma subsampling. 422 correlates to -1, 420 to -2. You'll get an ever so slightly reduced level of image quality if you opt for those. But really, it's HDMI 2.1 we really need to test, and that's where this beast comes in. It's LG's 75 Nano 99 display based on its nanocell technology. 8K. It supports all of the major HDMI 2.1 features, from 4K to 120 Hz to variable refresh rate right up to native 8K. And here's the thing, with the review firmware we have, HDMI 2.1 features kind of begin and end at 4K 120 Hz. The console may well have 8K labeling on the packaging, but as you can see here, we are limited to 2160p output only, 4K. Dipping into the video output information screen, you can see that we have the full range of HDMI 2.1 features.
Can you imagine clicking 720p?
Hz is limited to 422. But yeah, no 8K and no mention of VRR. Dipping into LG's setup menus, you can see that we've enabled the HDMI port for full 8K. But right now, it's clear that PlayStation 5 simply doesn't support it. No big deal, I think, in the short term, but more disappointing, I think, is the apparent omission, for now at least, of variable refresh rate. Maybe it has to be enabled on a game-by-game basis, but right now, I see no way to get access to this brilliant feature, and that's a shame. Another omission is
I'm sure it's going to be coming at some point. I don't see how it
low
couldn't.
latency mode. Plug in an Xbox Series console or an NVIDIA RTX card and ALLM kicks in, automatically switching the screen to low latency mode, game mode. And here's the thing, for PlayStation 5 on my LG screen at least, I had to do this manually. Not a big deal again, I guess, but I do wonder how many prospective PS5 gamers won't be aware of game mode.
That is true.
And will have a laggier experience overall because, well, they haven't selected game mode manually on their screen.
How many people don't know about game mode, though, on their TV?
So plus and minus points, really. I just can't get over how beautiful the front-end UI is. You get the functionality of PlayStation 4 and more, plus the beauty and aesthetics, more reminiscent, I think, of the old PlayStation 3 UI. I think it looks and feels great, super modern, next level stuff. Minus points, pretty basic HDMI 2.1 support, it has to be said, and no customization beyond HDMI spec, which leads me on to another FAQ, support for desktop monitors, specifically 1440p displays. So here's my PS5 plugged into my AOC AG271QX, an old but good 1440p screen, supports FreeSync over HDMI with the widest VRR window I could find. Variable refresh rate works great on this one with Xbox One and Series X, but on both HDMI ports, this is what you see with PlayStation 5, Essentially, you're topping out at just 1080p resolution. Looking into the video output report screen there, and well, not much going on. Mileage may vary with other screens, of course, but my suspicion is that only HDMI 2.0 or 2.1 1440p screens will support higher resolutions than 1080p, and even then it's going to be downscaled from 2160p. Here's the same screen running with Xbox Series X. 1440p is selectable as a display resolution, but unfortunately I cannot access higher refresh rates than 60Hz. I do have access to VRR though. So clearly 1440p over HDMI is possible. Xbox is doing it. It's just not in the PS5 feature set right now. So look, there's much more to cover, but we're going to be breaking that out into separate videos. I'd highly recommend checking out the backwards compatibility content. Let's just say that in almost all of the games we tested, we saw the full advantage of the Zen 2 CPU cluster and the 10.3 teraflops of GPU compute, all of that deployed on older games. What this means is that just like Series X, games that don't hit their performance targets now do so easily, producing some transformative experiences in many cases. So yeah, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, 1800p checkerboard, it's now a totally locked 60 frames per second.
Nice.
Dark Souls 3, 1080p 60, no
Dark
problem
Souls 3.
whatsoever. Crysis Remastered,
One of my favorites.
60 frames per second in performance mode, and it's terrific. Sony is also deploying some patches to existing games, and it's been amazing for me to play games like Days Gone and Ghost of Tsushima as full 60 frames per second experiences. Sony has not exactly been hugely forthcoming about its backwards compatibility plans, but by and large everything works beautifully. John's blown away by a 60 frames per second knack experience, and well, come on. Killzone Shadowfall, locked to 60. It's a perfect opportunity to go back and play a game that I still rate as phenomenal. So look, obviously, there's still more to share, clearly, but I've tried to cover off all the FAQs in this one, and really now, it's about the quality of the games. Astro's Playroom comes with the system. It's very special, and I really do recommend you experience it. And Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, well, John's got content for you right now on the channel. But in the here and now, I'm loving what I'm seeing from PlayStation 5 so far. It really is a well put together, almost beautiful experience. It feels special, it feels premium. And it's doing things I've never seen or rather felt before, while software like Miles Morales just feels state of the art. Seriously, if you told me we'd be getting such a well-realized implementation of ray tracing in a mainstream games console a couple of years ago, well, I just wouldn't have believed you. But here it is, and it works, and it's beautiful. Just about the only disappointment so far from my hands-on? Well, VRR, variable refresh rate.
Melissa had said it's some pretty big praise.
And it's a shame that it doesn't seem to be in the system right now. And it is a little strange to have 8K icons on your packaging, but not to support HDMI 2.18K. Kind of weird.
That is
latter
weird.
point, though, probably a little fringe. VRR, though, that's a must in my opinion. And yet, there are also storage concerns. Why can I only copy PS4 games away from the SSD? If I fill the drive up, I'll need to delete stuff to download more games, then delete other stuff and re-download them if I want to play them again. Come on, we need a decent archiving system here. Xbox lets you copy games to slower storage, but not let you play them. It's for archiving only. Now, this is the obvious fix, and I just don't understand why it's not present here on PlayStation 5. Still though, I really think that people who buy the machine, take it home and power it up won't be disappointed. And yeah, remember, this is just the beginning. Our coverage will continue. And
My
yes,
God,
as soon
that PS5
as
is
we can,
massive,
you'll
dude.
get the PlayStation 5 versus Series platform
real tower of
comparisons,
power.
and also an answer to the question, does PS5 missing certain RDNA 2 features actually matter? This
No.
tweet from Microsoft wouldn't have got past AMD or Microsoft's own legal teams if it were not true. But to what extent does it actually matter for gaming? That is the question, and that's what we'll be answering in our platform comparisons.
Ooh.
So yes, there's much more to come, but that's all from me right now. Please do like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the work, and ring the bell for instant notifications.
Let me get out of here so we can talk about this a little bit more. I have to remove the window capture. Give me one sec. That definitely did help my voice a little bit, though. Yeah, wow. So what did you guys think? What did you guys think of Digital Foundry's review of the PS5? I just said, hey, we'll do it live. Oh geez, my chat is catching up. Hold on. I'm seeing all the stuff you guys were typing a while back. So I'm gonna have to let this chat catch up. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good review overall. I mean, he definitely highlighted some of the stuff that's lacking with the hardware in terms of like, some of the features and stuff. And that's totally understandable. I mean, I talked about it at the, up until this point. Unfortunately, the rest of the podcast isn't going to have any gameplay. Hopefully you guys are cool with that though. Actually what I might want to do, probably just do this real quick just to put something on the screen. I could probably get the members credits back. Actually, I'll just sorry guys, give me a second. I'm just trying to organize all this because that's the first time I've ever was just like, hey, let's just do it live. Why not? Let's just do it. Where's it at? Where's my gameplay? Here we go. All right, I'll just put this up. You guys can see full screen gameplay while we finish out this podcast. Let me go back to the chat here. I have a super chat here from Tyrone who's saying, I think most, if not all of their criticisms can be fixed with firmware where like the storage of the PS5 games on the external VRR 8K. Yeah, I think so too. And if you listen to what Richard was saying, ultimately, he's like, look, like he really thinks what they're doing is good. He really thinks that this is a premium product that's doing things differently. And, it's interesting because you can tell Digital Foundry is also eager to see the comparisons between the two platforms. He mentions the full RDNA 2 tweet that Microsoft put out not that long ago, and asking the question like, will it really matter? And I'm definitely interested in hearing more about that, because I think that's just the big question that everybody's left with. Like, the PS5 is an awesome console. It's going to do amazing things, obviously. It's going to have awesome games. And, the thing about it is, like, I'm going to be real with you guys. Like, I do care about, like, the comparisons. I think it's just going to make it for, if anything, it's just going to make for interesting conversation more than anything else. But ultimately, guys, like, third-party games, I think it's pretty clear going to look pretty amazing on the PS5. So, like, I don't think if you buy a PS5, you're going to be like, oh, man, you're getting, like, really terrible-looking third-party games. I don't think that's the case at all, to be just completely brutally honest here. I really do think that you're going to be getting a top-tier experience. But, yeah, that was the Digital Foundry PS5 review. Ultimately, guys, I'm going to kind of like, before I go into the Q&A here, I want to circle back to just, something I said at the beginning of this podcast, which is, we get into the, into the details and stuff, and we focus on this, and that's fine. That's what we do here on the podcast. But ultimately, like, I think everybody can feel pretty excited. You know what I mean? Like, next gen is here. As I said, we don't know what the next generation of consoles is going to look like, how much different it's going to be. But yeah, I pretty much did all of my topics. I went through all of my topics. We did a live reaction to an extent, I guess, of excuse me, of the Digital Foundry review. So at this point, we are going to transition into the Q&A portion of the podcast. I will be able to do definitely answer some questions because my voice is certainly feeling a little bit better now. Drank the tea, rested my voice a little bit, keep it going. So yeah, before I end it, if you guys want to do some questions, let's do it. MBG, in my opinion, this generation is starting off it's most equal yet in terms of competition. How do you feel about this, and can it last till next gen? I agree with that halfway. I feel like Sony definitely has the edge, at least with the games. And to me, the games are the most important. So it's one of these situations where it's like, I mean, yeah, they're definitely. I think Microsoft has the most potential than ever before to really compete with Sony in a big way. Aside from the start of the PS3 and 360 generation. MBG podcast with TCMF Games official. Yeah, I think I know TCMF. Probably. I mean, honestly, probably not. Like, I like his content. But for now, I just do my own thing here. MBG, what launch games are you picking up? I'm picking up all of them. Not all the third parties, but definitely all the exclusives. Some third parties. MBG wife reveal. I don't know. We'll see. CPU, GPU handles backwards compatibility. Brother MBG, not SSD, not IO. That's true. Yeah, that is very true. That's true. MBG, should I grab Demon Souls or Godfall for the PS5? I'd say go for both if you can, but honestly, dude, if you can only choose one, go for Demon Souls. You got to go for Demon Souls. A bit off topic, MBG, please play Spider-Man first so you can play Demon Souls and enjoy it to its fullest. Regardless of what I play first, I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. But I don't know, man. Spider-Man is a shorter game, so... What is your hype level for Returnal? I'm definitely hyped for Returnal, man. I think that's going to be a sleeper hit. I can't wait to see more about it, more of it, and learn more about it. I'm curious when it's going to be coming out. It seems like it's actually pretty far along in development, I'm assuming, so... MBG, are there still any embargoes in place? I've yet to see a video that dives into all the new features. I'm sure there is. Either that or maybe people are just running behind. I'm sure there's some type of embargo still there, though. Which studios are Sony going to acquire? They need to acquire Bluepoint. There's many others they could acquire, but they need to acquire Bluepoint. What do I think about Griffin Gaming? I don't really think anything. I think it's just a dude doing whatever. It's just a little bit toxic if you ask me, but hey, not my cup of tea, I guess you could say. Did you receive the PS5 headset? I'm expecting to get that from Amazon. Will the PS5 offer ray tracing? It already does, yes. Ray tracing in Spider-Man Miles Morales. MBG, contact Mark Cerny about developing a better cooling solution for your throat. That's a little weird, but no. I'm gonna leave Mark Cerny to do his work on the PS5, man. Do you think Sony should have announced the SSD to third-party companies so they could have had external launch? Yeah, but I think it's just a matter of Sony's SSD is so far ahead, it's just naturally going to take some time for third-party companies to catch up. Although from what I've heard, there are third-party companies who do have SSDs that apparently will be good enough. They just have to get verified first. So, assuming that's what they're waiting for. Do you think we'll see a trailer for God of War Ragnarok at the Game Awards? I don't know, but that'd be sick. Dude, the first God of War trailer, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, did you see that floating tree? Yeah. I'm telling you right now, the first proper gameplay of God of War is gonna blow people away, obviously. Chris B, play the Game of the Year Bug Snacks first. We need a full playthrough. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, man. I don't know if I'm ever gonna stream Bug Snacks. Like, there's just too many other games, man. There's too many other games. Am I a fan of Final Fantasy? What do I think of 16? I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan, honestly. I think I think the games look fine. I'm just not into them. That's all. But I'm happy for people who are, obviously, because it seems like there's been great things going on with Final Fantasy recently. When do you think Gotham Knights comes out? I don't know. Didn't they say it's coming out sometime in 2021? Any news on Hitman 3? I do not have any news on Hitman 3, unfortunately. Did we see ray tracing running on the Xbox Series X? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't recall seeing any games with ray tracing. Am I wrong on that? Guys, have we seen anything with running with ray tracing on the Series X so far? MBG, can they patch variable refresh rate in the PS5 after release? Of course they can, yes. MBG, Game of the Year 2021, God of War, Ragnarok, or Cyberpunk? I'm going to say God of War, man. Like, I know, dude, look, people forget God of War 2018 took out Red Dead Redemption 2. I said it in a tweet. I'll say it here. That is the gaming industry equivalent of literally killing a god. So anything is possible. I know Cyberpunk's going to be an amazing game, and I think it has just as good of a chance to win, but I'm going to say God of War because I'm super excited for God of War. Do you remember PlayStation Home on PS3? I missed that so much. Hopefully that will come back on PS5. I knew about it. I never experienced it, but I did hear about it. That would be interesting if it came back. Do you think we'll see a game with full ray tracing on the PS5? I think we already have, haven't we? Spider-Man Miles Morales, I think, has full ray tracing, if I'm not mistaken. I canceled my Series X pre-order after I saw Demon's Souls. Hey, I mean, I think you made the right choice, dude. I do. Watch Dogs Legion shown today with RTX on both Series S and X. Okay, so I guess Watch Dogs was shown with ray tracing. MBG Bug Snacks is calling you. I'm telling you, it's going to be Game of the Year. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see, like, you know, how Bug Snacks is received. Thank you for that super chat, Eric from 850. I do appreciate it. But yeah, guys, to be honest, I thought it wasn't full ray tracing. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if there can ever be a game with full ray tracing. It depends what you mean by full, really. If you're talking about like real-time ray tracing, like Spider-Man does have that. But I don't know. To be honest, guys, I feel like my brain's a little bit fried right now. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know if I got enough sleep last night or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to end the podcast here. I don't want to just drag it on. You're saying MBG, I feel like PS5 software is released unfinished as there's just too many OS features missing. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if Sony does implement these things later on in a patch. And I'm sure if they do, you know, I'm sure it won't be too long. But do I ride a motorcycle? I do not. But that's going to do it, guys. For the podcast, I'm obviously pretty worn out here, but I do appreciate you guys sticking around. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button before you go. We have about 950 likes. Maybe we could get it up to that 1,000 before the stream is officially ended. So hit that like button, guys. A huge shout out to all of you guys for being here and hanging out with me. It was a little bit of a rough episode. Obviously can't have not every episode can be me bouncing off the walls, ranting left and right, but gotta conserve that energy. PS5's coming, and I think we're gonna have a lot of great content. So huge shout out to all of my channel members, by the way. Thank you guys for your direct support. It really helps a lot. Thank you for all the super chats. You guys are amazing. And look forward to the content. There's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot to cover when the PS5 launches. Hopefully you guys will show up for the game streams. But yeah, thank you for being here today. So one last time, guys, hit that like button. So close to 1,000 likes. But yeah, until next time, guys, as I always say, take care.